Alrighty, let me see if we've got everything working here. Come on, Steam. Come on. Come on, stream. Come on, Twitch. Work with me here. Okay, good. There we go. That's all coming through just fine. OBS. Doing good. There we go. All right. Glorious Wednesday to everybody. Going to be continuing Warhammer 40k Rogue Trader. Not really much to update. I should hopefully be able to do a stream on Friday, which should make up for some issues that I was having last week. But we're just going to dive right in. No reason to wait. You going to work with me, game here? Okay, there we go. There we go. Want to load. Now, I believe we left off with dealing with the quasi-mutiny in the lower bay, or the lower decks, I suppose. There we go. That music was a little bit loud on the opening screen. Let's go ahead and get this going. All right, I've got my water.
Keep your wits about you.
Got our party. Probably now would be a great time to double check first stuff. Yeah. Body gloves, helmet of the devoted protector. I don't think she needs anything else. We'll keep the other staff in case we want to use that at some point. It's got that one's got the buff, yes, and the other one's got the debuff. I don't think there's anything else I can give her. Yeah, it's exactly the same, just with armor. No, we don't want to give her a dodge penalty. Body glove, he's got his custom armor. We don't have to worry about any of that. That is tech use, which I think actually 35, 30, 30, 30, 30. Ah. Okay, for right now, we'll keep that on then. Alright. Now, what have we got going on? Something resembling a nest made out of the thermal insulation material. This must be where the workers sleep between shifts. Not sure what else here. I know there's some items you can get down here. Not much, but...
I still do not see our purpose in coming here.
Huge pipes. The arteries of the ship run through many bays, delivering air, water, heat, and the propulsion force.
Relax, old man. Going for a stroll on the lower decks every once in a while is good for you. Lets you see how the simple folk live.
Needed a sip of my gamer stuff.
Keep your eye on the prize.
Oh, here we go. The sounds of heated discussion reverberate through the ship's bays. Lieutenant Avril Vent of the ship's enforcers is barring the path of her superior, Master-at-Arms Jocasta Sauerback, who has arrived clad in armor. Judging by their expressions and tone, the standoff is dragged on for some time already, and has now reached a boiling point. Lieutenant Vent, my patience is wearing thin. I've given you an order. Get out of the way. And you know I cannot comply with that order, ma'am. Vent looks shaken, but there's fire in her eyes. This is my deck, my sector. So long as this area remains under the Lord Captain's oversight, no action can be taken without my express permission. There are only 3 people authorized to make me stand down. The first officer, the rogue trader, and the Emperor himself. Though not all of my fall on deaf ears. Abelard mutters in crabby approval. He does not clarify whether he meant Vent, Sauerback looming over her, or both. Your lordship. Noticing you, the 2 officers snap to attention and salute, their subordinates following suit a moment later. What's the situation? Your lordship, my people have locked down the bay where the strikers are, including leaders. We have the situation under control as far as all resources will allow. I swear to God, it better have updated my Steam title. Hold on. Where is it? Where is it? Yes, okay, good. I noticed I still had the same title from when I did the first stream of this, and I'm realized I should probably change those up every now and then. Okay. Under control, Lieutenant. I've come here to lead an investigative unit. What do I see? Rabble on the verge of mutiny. There's nothing to investigate. Immediate repressions and firing squads. And you, Vent, are a step away from facing charges yourself. We encountered some locals on the way here. Their conduct was outrageous. They even tried to throw things. Vent paled slightly. The people are desperate, clearly. They saw the assault unit and they decided they had nothing left to lose. I apologize, Lord Captain. It is outrageous. I'm sure the people simply didn't recognize you. It wouldn't have occurred otherwise. We will deal with them once the current situation is resolved. I want to speak with the strikers. Abelard's mouth twists, but he restrains himself. Right you are, Lord Captain. Allow me to wish you good luck. Hope gleams in the lieutenant's eyes.
I always keep my options open.
I appreciate the, what armor is that? Palatine Enforcers from the Necromunda series of models that Games Workshop does. I actually really like it. It's a nice alternative to the standard flak armor. And it does look almost... I don't know, corporate's not the right word, but it doesn't look military the way that Imperial Guard armor tends to look. I don't know, like private security kind of thing, but medieval, feudal private security. May as well
Rise to the top, or
go
get
over
left
here
in
and
the
make sure
dust.
there's nothing. I think there is. There's a door.
This is intriguing.
Oh, right, yes. Container can be seen beyond the massive bars, perhaps examining the pipe bullet. Yeah, there's a little puzzle here to go find things. Come on, get moving, guys. Open it up. Anybody in here? No? Why is it... Stop. I don't know why it does that.
I always have a backup plan.
Oh, here's some stuff. What are you guys hiding from us? We've got machine right sets and some more cargo. Works for me. There, nothing there, there. Alright, keep moving back over here. We need to go talk with strikers and do more talk, no jutsu. I believe that's the phrase Woolly Versus uses whenever you're doing verbal battle.
Is there money to be made?
There we go. A dozen pair of eyes stare apprehensively at you. The people before you are the typical inhabitants of the lower deck. Their simple clothing, crude weapons, and faces that display varying levels of mutation, from the barely discernible to the strange to the outright grotesque. A whisper passes through the crowd, and you detect a mixture of fear, astonishment, and joy in their reactions. 3 people break away from the crowd, an elderly woman and 2 men. These must be the leaders. They bow clumsily before you. Lord Captain, you've come down to us. Tell me what is troubling you. Why are you striking? Striking? That's news to us, your lordship, says a tall, thin man in worker's garb. All we're doing is asking questions, saying what we think. Shut up, Rivet, snaps the old woman, who turns her hostile dark eyes on you. The deal, your lordship. Your damned enforcers are all over us down here. They say they're looking for Keltis, one wrong word, and they're reaching for the batons. They want to punish someone, they turn off the heating for the whole bay to a week at a time. We get sick, we freeze. In my clan, we've got 2 little ones who died from inflammation in their lungs because of those enforcers. The old woman spits on the floor and rubs at the spittle with the toe of a well-worn shoe. Argenta does not interrupt the workers, but you see the sadness well in her eyes when the children's deaths are mentioned. She quietly whispers a requiem prayer and makes a sign of the Aquila over herself. It's all true. Vent is the only enforcer officer who stood up for us. It's clear as day who had a mother from the lower decks and who grew up amidships and has no feeling towards it. The grim man with a scarred face throws up his arms. Your lordship, we're not villains here. We're honest workers, servants of your house. We've plotted no disorder. We went on strike openly, and now we've got guns pointed at us for it. All we're doing is asking to be allowed to work in peace without being harassed. The persecution started apropos of nothing, you said. I was told that one of your crew was found in possession of a cultist amulet. and that there are heretics in hiding down. Cultist amulet. What's that? The gewgaw they found on the dead drunkard. It was something evil or forbidden. Hey, Mother Teresa, good to see you again. Doing good, doing good. Good to have you back. Just going through Warhammer Rogue Trader today. This is probably going to be my long-form content for a while, so we're doing Warhammer stuff for a good bit here. This is a long RPG, so we're probably going to be at it for a couple of weeks. Well, maybe even a couple of months, honestly. Where was I? It was... Yeah, let's go. If it was something evil or forbidden, we shouldn't know. The enforcers just said they were looking for heretics, and anyone obstructing their investigation would be punished. But how could there be heretics here? We know our own people. There have been no new faces or... Definitely not. And if there were, we'd be the first to report them. As for the amulet, or whatever it is, they took it off a dead man. There are no cultists still breathing in our sector, that's for sure. But when that fight broke out, some enterprising folks looted the bodies. The boots they came back with, nobody's ever tread these decks in boots so fine. I can tell you that. It seems to me these cultists are better commanders than us. Oh, thanks. Yeah, as I said, it's probably gonna be doing Rogue Trader for a while. I know this is like a easily 80+ hour RPG, so it's probably gonna be quite a bit. We'll see how it goes. Oh yeah, those boots really were fine, and there was no harm in taking them. As for the amulet, it must have been pocketed by someone who didn't know any better. We don't need any amulets around here. We worship the Emperor, and when we're working, we bow down before the machine spirits of the large and the small transformers, and the servo motor, the same way my grandfather was taught 100 years ago by a tech priest who came calling. Believe us, your lordship, we are people of the faith. Naive children. Weren't you taught from an early age about the dangers of the arch-enemy's creation? Weren't you warned that any unfamiliar object could be one of them? We were told, Holy Sister, but that was a long, long ago. The last time we saw a confessor in our sector, well, it was just after I'd had my third little one. That is regrettable, but you cannot lay the burdens of leading a righteous life on the shoulders of your Holy Father. Who will you blame when the beasts crawl out of those amulets you took from the heretic? The Holy Father who was not here, or the scavenger who brought evil down on himself and his neighbor? Yeah, so far it's been having a good time. We are still in a part of the game that I have played before. When the game first came out, I played through pretty much the opening segment, the first system, right up to... I went through most of the content the first time you go to Footfall, the first big space station, and everything after that is going to be blind. So... right here, I know pretty much, I remember most of everything that happens in the opening segment of the game. So far, the only I peaked my mic again. I gotta stop doing that. The only problem so far has just been keeping my throat hydrated so I can read all of the dialogue and everything in this, because not much of it is voice. The stuff that is good, but there is a lot of dialogue to read and go through. Abelard, do you have anything to add? I authorize the use of all necessary measures to locate Chaos Worshippers hiding in this and other sectors. The specific steps taken by the officers were never reported to me. Abelard frowns, clearly disgruntled at having to explain himself in the workers' presence. Nevertheless, I am certain that their actions were justified. Cultists are no drunken stevedores. They are the enemy and a threat to the ship. Neutralizing them demands decisive action. Yeah, I usually have something on hand. I just try not to make it too obvious when I'm trying to have them take a sip. Where were we? Sarbek, was it really necessary to torture these people with cold? The rabble understands only one language, Lord Captain. Violence. As per ship regulations, should the laborers persist in unwillingness to cooperate, the next step is limiting air supply and cutting off water supply, which is almost certain to restore order. The peasants can grumble all they want, but in the end they are the source of their own misery. What does she have on her head, I just realized? She's got like a frickin' box attached to the top of her head. I thought it was just her hair that was up that way, but now I realize it's like a crown and a box behind it. Okay, that's a weird one. Where were we? All they have to do is bow their heads, fall in line, and the need for the punitive measures would disappear. I took a look at it. Oh shoot, you're right. I did take a look at it. You sent it to me on Discord. It looks good. Unfortunately, I'm probably going to be delayed before I make any decisions on any other art assets I get right now because I finally got a message back from the artist I commissioned my reference sheet from. And they got delayed on my commission and about 4 other people's commissions because they got into a traffic accident and got hit by a car. So I'm hoping it's not too long of a delay. They already said that they were recovering pretty quickly. It wasn't a major hit, thank God it wasn't. But it has delayed them a little bit. So I'm still looking around. I'll definitely keep it in mind though, because right now I really need to figure out how to get like a what are they, like a stream starting soon screen and things like that. Yeah, I know. I peaked my mic again. Got to control my voice with that. Yeah, no, I was worried because they had said, oh yeah, I'm gonna about a week and a half ago they'd said like, hey, you're gonna be next in line on the 19th. I'll let you know more after that. And then I heard nothing for like a week and a half. And I was like, that's weird. They've been really good about keeping me informed on everything as far as delays and all that go. And then all of a sudden, I send a message, and then the next day I get like, oh yeah, here's a report from my freaking X-ray. I got hit by a car. It's like, holy shit. It's like I remember a lot of other streamers that I've watched in the past have always talked about how always having issues with artists. Either the artist is having issues in their like personal life and it bleeds over into their work, or the artist just runs into problems. I'm like, oh, I'm sure that happens a lot, but it can't happen it can't be that common. Of course, the very first thing I commission ever on the internet, the artist gets hit by a car. What are the odds? Where were we? We were attacked on the way here. How do you explain that?
There's an explanation for you. The people have been pushed to their limit and they're lashing out. And we, as if we don't know why these top deck units are being sent down here. Like that one that the lieutenant won't let pass.
Our clans are all inside the bay that's been sealed off, but the lower decks are big. I'm sure there's some people who've just about had enough. We're getting it from all sides. The soldiers have encircled the ones who've risen up. A death squad's just arrived at our gates. It's no wonder folks are lashing out. Well, I did, but it's through, what's the website? VGen? So they have, VGen sets it up as an intermediary between you and the artist to take commissions, which gives, VGen itself helps set works with the artist to set a date. If it goes past, what is the cutoff date? September 1st, I get a full refund. Like, VGen handles that. I go through them and they give me a full refund from the artist. She's still well within that range, and I knew it was going to be a little bit longer because she's I think even when I signed up for the original commission, she already had a full slate. So the fact that she's gotten to me after about a month on the wait list is honestly not that bad. I knew it was going to be a bit of a wait going in anyways. But no, I was encouraged to use VGen precisely because you can find them all over Twitter, especially with like the VTubing community and places like that need constant art asset updates of just for every story of, oh my god, this artist is amazing and this artist did everything great and there's been no problems. There's just as many, if not more, of, oh my god, everything's gone wrong. Every time I try to talk to them, something has happened or something's gotten delayed, or it's the nature of doing business online with essentially freelancers. I'm not pointing fingers saying at any artist being bad or anything like that. It's the nature of the game. Yeah, fair enough. I probably should do that in the future. I was just willing to trust VGen because I'd heard a lot of good things about it. The artist had good reviews. All of their reviews were covered as far as the person being professional, taking care of everything, and everything being delivered on time. If I wasn't... Peek my mic again. If I wasn't using some kind of intermediary that had like guarantees on returns and stuff like that, if there's an issue, I would probably have gone for a half or some other kind of negotiation with that. Where were we? No wonder folks are lashing out, right? Their words seem sincere to you. Their body language and the glances traded between them reveal that the news of the attack has shocked them. What exactly are you asking for?
Well, would you look at this? The exalted Lord Captain himself is asking us bilge rats what we want.
Well, here's what. We want you to rein in your damned enforcers, to quit turning off the heat, stop battering everything that moves. No. More. We want the enforcers gone from this level, and we want to be armed ourselves. Give us arms, we'll govern ourselves, we'll defend ourselves, if these cultists show their face.
I've been a leader of my clan for 20 years now. Getting rid of a few club-wielding thugs can only improve things around here. Now you've gone too far, old man. Yeah, no, I get you. You want to give incentive for the artist to complete the commission while at the same time protecting yourself from someone running off with the money or other things that are unforeseen. Like, yeah, you want to hedge your bets against both people who are genuinely bad actors and people who just shit happens, and you've just got to be prepared for that in life. Like, nobody wants to peek my mic again. Nobody wants to just be out a whole bunch of money because something happened. I get you. There's a VTuber I watch pretty regularly who is waiting. Shit. At this point, she's 1.5 years overdue for a 2D model that she commissioned from someone. Like, and she's like, I already paid the half, and it's a lot of money. It's like, I want them to finish it, but at this point, it's just ridiculous. So I'm hoping to avoid that. I am hoping to avoid that in the end. Yeah. It's always good to keep that little bit back. As I said, it's my first commission. It wasn't that expensive. It is a ref sheet. It's not like it's a full VTubing rig or anything like that that can cost like $4,000 or $5,000. But yeah. And as I said, the person was being very open with their communication. That was partly why I got concerned. It's like, that's weird. She's kept me pretty updated as far as moving through the queue of the commission slots and everything. It's weird that she just went radio silent there for 1.5 weeks right when she was about to start. But that's how we ended up on that. Where were we? You've gone too far, old man. They'll never let the maggots on the lower decks live without the enforcers breaking their necks. They probably even insist on enforcers in the upper decks. As for the weapons, what do we need them for? Before the first day out, we'd have someone shooting their neighbor out of some stupid idiot, drunkenly. We don't need that. The enforcers stop hassling us. That'll be enough. In return, we'll find the scavengers who robbed the cultist bodies, and we'll take them. One lower decker to another. If there are any more of those damned amulets about, we'll hand them over to the enforcers ourselves. Speak for yourself and your clan, and I'll speak for mine. I don't want empty gestures. I want real change. They'll promise us the world now, but as soon as the Anointed One turns his back, these brutes will be on us even harder than before, all because we dared to speak out. That is the plan. I specifically asked the artist to include some close-ups of the face that I can use for, what's it called? Fugi. It's that program that allows you to put, like, a picture or a set of pictures in, like, the corner of the screen. And it'll have one picture for when you're quiet, one picture for when you're talking. So the idea is to use those as like a placeholder and, well, not a placeholder, but just to have something on screen and get used to the whole VTubing kind of style of setup. Maybe closer to a PNG tuber, really. And then from there, going into a full VTubing model after that, which I know is going to take quite a bit of time because... For one thing, it's a lot harder to make a full VTuber model. It's a lot harder to make all the rigging and all that stuff, and it's a lot harder to get all that set up. Yeah, Fugi. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. If that would take too long, I might look into getting just a PNG tuber, because I've seen some people do that where they have like 7 or 8. It's basically Fugi, but more advanced, where you have like, instead of 2 different images, you have more like 10 or 20, and it can cycle through that depending on toggles and stuff like that. There's a couple of people I've seen who do that instead of a full VTubing rig, where usually it just has a couple of mouth movements and then usually a couple of expressions. But that would still work. That would still work, and it's not like people haven't done that before. Where were we? Yep, we already read that part. The tall worker's eyes dart between the two arguing leaders. Every few seconds he opens his mouth as if planning to agree, but each time he fell silent, simply making a few vague noises of approval. Thoughts, Abelard? The story about going scavenging for boots and accidentally picking up a heretical amulet does not fully convince me. These people were moments away from rebelling and possibly becoming minions of the archenemy. We must not give them what they want, even if they did acquire something innocently, purely out of their own stupidity. That does not mean they are not tainted with corruption. What begins as petty thievery can turn into a far graver concern. I've seen it before. Abelard's face darkens momentarily. In my second war, there was a sergeant in the Imperial Guard regiment that was stationed nearby. The sergeant took an ordinary pocket knife from the body of a heretic. His whole unit lost their lives for it.
When we finally managed to break into the barracks, they found not a single survivor, only the pocket knife, which had grown through all the rows of beds like a metal choking vine. So when it comes to scavengers, malcontents, strikers, or whatever they'll turn into next, my verdict is simple, Lord Captain. Give them no quarter. Master at Arms, where do you stand?
Give the rabble a grox, they'll take an agri-world, Lord Captain. They only understand the brute force and will interpret any concession as a sign of weakness. Giving them weapons and recalling the enforcers would be the pinnacle of folly. It would only be a matter of time before we had a full-scale mutiny on our hands. Yeah, we've got more than enough in order to pass this. There's no reason not to.
Spreading anarchy on the ship is the first step towards embracing chaos. Putting weapons into untrained hands would be even worse. What's more, the enforcers are needed to maintain oversight and order. Withdraw those demands. We will consider the rest. The tall worker they call Rivet shrugs and casts a sidelong look at the old woman.
Listen to him, old man. Listen. The Lord Captain himself has come down here and is offering concessions. And I don't know a single person in the whole of the depot who's ever stood next to the rogue trader, let alone talk to him. Back down. Now's no time for you to be a stubborn old crone.
Listen to us, old man. The 3 clans of Depot 4 must act as one. We've made our minds up. It's your turn to decide. Don't ask them to disband the enforcers or give us weapons. We don't need that. The old woman hisses in dissatisfaction.
You two are ganging up on me, is that it? So brave you are against an old woman. But I'll shut up. I will indeed. I won't go against 2 other clan leaders on my own. If you want to make peace with the enforcers, make peace.
That's fantastic. Lord Crafton?
Crafton. Wow, that was one hell of a up. If he had actually said that, we'd be in a shooting match right now.
That's great. Lord Captain, we're all agreed. Then it's decided. The persecution will cease, and I will expect you to assist in locating any remaining amulets or weapons left by the cultists. Your Lordship, thank you. You've not abandoned us to us on the lower decks. You came yourself and settled everything. I will tell my grandchildren. Of course, Your Lordship. We'll root out any nasty business faster than the enforcers, and we'll leave no stone unturned.
There we go. That's nice and solved.
Let us not dawdle.
Now, if I recall, there is the
Pay attention.
valve. Yes, thank you for spotting that. The valve puzzle.
That's how it's done.
The gauge shows that the seam pressure in the pipe is close to the maximum, however, it does not reach the bars at the other end. Yeah. Need. Yep, that turns. That one. What else is over here? Pages where the start of each shift is marked. The last mark is missing. The workers went on strike. Yep. Multi-keys. Cargo. Good.
I always keep my options open.
The heat sink warms the air around it to a scorching temperature. This is the warmest part of the bay. The workers have even dragged deck chairs here. Nothing there. Okay, if I remember correctly, we turn that, and that causes steam to pop up somewhere else. Anything down here? No. What else have we got? I know we need to find this. There should be... No, not that one.
Always keep your eye on the price.
See, and that caused that one to go off. This one? Yep. Yes. Yes. Okay. That one? No?
Rise to the top or get left in the dust.
Clear to... Ah, there we go. That unlocked it. Good. Open that up.
Success is the only outcome I accept.
There we go. Force grenades, crack grenades, melt charges, and a multi-key. Very nice. There we go. That should be everything down here, I'm pretty sure. Oh, there we go. Dialogue. Stopping unexpectedly, Abelard's imperiously dismisses the unit to stand at a distance and addresses your other companion, saying, I have an urgent matter to discuss with the Lord Captain. Please, give us a moment. Abelard looks at you, and his last vestiges of restraint vanish. Are you pleased with your investigation, Lord Captain? You kowtow to disloyal rebel. You believe their lies and showed them leniency. Next time the ship is attacked by cultists, that rabble will welcome them in with open arms and allow them to wreak whatever havoc they like because they see you as a weak leader. Is that how you see your future at the helm of the Von Valencius Protectorate? We could also speak of your role in all of this instead, Abelard. You allowed this revolt to happen, and your actions practically guaranteed it would. I would have handled the situation myself had you not decided to intervene, Abelard says irascibly. Remember Lord Captain Theodora? Do you think she ever set one slippered foot upon the lower decks? No, she did not. Such matters were left to myself and the junior officers while she dedicated herself to the grand designs of the Protectorate, as any true strategist and rogue traitor ought. Perhaps if Theodora had spent more time on such trifling matters, she wouldn't have wound up dead, Abelard. There is a new Lord Captain aboard this ship, and I will not repeat the mistake. Abelard looks at you, stunned, and exhales loudly, then nods curtly. I commend your decisiveness, but I am uncomfortable with introducing new protocols in the midst of a crisis. And, Abelard stands straight at attention. I lost my temper, Lord, and I believe I ought to explain this. Abelard speaks slowly, the words not coming easily. The prosperity of the Von Valencius Protectorate is not just an empty phrase. I left the Imperial Navy for the chance to see it flourish. It was the most momentous decision of my life. I did it because I saw in Lord Captain Theodora's deeds the sign of true greatness. Rogue traders do not simply forge new routes and capture worlds. They create order out of anarchy. That creative impulse was entirely lacking during my time in the Navy. So I left behind everything I'd ever known, everything my family had known. I came from a long line of officers. I embarked upon this incredibly reckless venture. Lord Captain Theodora entrusted me with all concerns she had no time for. She would go off on her flagship for long periods to distant frontiers, scouting voyages. The advancement of the Protectorate rested on my shoulders. Then suddenly, everything that had been built for years and years began to quake, rattling like a flimsy hanger on a seismically active world. One of our senior-most officers betrayed me. The rogue traitor was killed, and who knows what is happening on the worlds of the Protectorate. I tell you this honestly, without fear of appearing weak. All this has come as a grievous blow to me. I am not panicking or grieving because I cannot allow myself to panic or grieve. I am duty-bound to aid the new rogue trader, to aid you, to find your footing as quickly as possible. And to do that, I must insulate you from problems that in the past have been dealt with by tried and tested procedures set out in the ship's regulations. Procedures that were established long ago and have functioned smoothly for decades cannot simply be deemed excess to require. No, we are going more iconoclast on this playthrough, but I don't want to insult him. It's not a matter of him being a bad person, at least not by the Imperium standards, certainly, and just has to do with him being very inflexible. I understand, Abelard, but you need to learn how to respect me as your Lord Captain and Rogue Trader. Accept it, and start living in the new world, a world where Theodora is gone, and where you and I have new decisions to make. Abelard solemnly inclines his head. Yes, Lord Captain. After a moment's silence, he adds, looking at you with interest, your resolve is admirable and demonstrates strong leadership. I shall remember this moment should my old habit take back. Now, please, let us leave the lower decks. The rogue trader desired to stretch his legs, but are far more suitable. Yay!
I always have a backup plan.
Hey, this is where I do enjoy the writing in this, because by our standards, Abelard is a brutal authoritarian. By the standards of the Imperium, he's practically progressive. That's scary as shit.
Sorry, had to take a sip of my gamer subs. Perhaps one day I will be... Oh, we got enough for level up. Sweet. Do we want another willpower? We already took 2 of those. Oh, the phone. Because we need to be preparing for Bounty Hunter. Actually, hold on. No, yeah, I do not like Arch Militant. I never liked the way it's set up. Down the prey. No, not that. Is debuff. Critical hit, armor penetration. Damage bonus. Difficulty. That's a good way to do it. But I know that there is... No, not archetype. There we go. Oh. Use difficulty here is 4 or higher. The bounty hunter immediately reloads their weapon attacks the closest enemy. Gains 50% over penetration plus. Okay, so yes, perception is what they also want. Okay. That is the advantage. Bounty Hunter really does not need any additional stats. You just build like a soldier because almost everything you do is meant to debuff the enemy rather than to inflict additional damage. So... Can't take another willpower. We've already got that. So we are going to go... Gonna go with ballistic skill for right now. No, we don't need that. No, not for first. It would be under universal. Don't need that. We need this. Because eventually, if he's going to be a pyromancer with soldier abilities, I want to get the flamer so that we can hit as many targets as possible. We're going to grab flame weapon proficiency. Okay, she has... Waking Nightmare is a good one. Zone of Fear is also a very good one. Mobilized. Go ahead and grab Zone of Fear, because anything that gives movement. Not that one. Produced by... Wait. Every enemy has in their line of sight has its dodge and hit chance reduced by the navigator's perception bonus. It's good. That is a good one. Perception is higher than agility. Dodge is higher than that. Build degradation reduction. Navigator heals 5 wounds. No. That. Others. First ally targeted by the navigator with a single target ability. Each turn gains the same amount of additional. We're going to go with Eyes of Oblivion for right now, and we'll pick up some of her more survival-oriented skills later. Need to know, where is the heavy weapons? Heavy weapon proficiency. Strength value of heavy weapons minus 25. Oh, what's the heavy bolter require? I don't know. But I know we don't have it yet. So for right now, we're going to go with something else. What else have we got? Not the worst. % chance to ignore any enemy attack is not the worst, not the worst. Hatred. Melee flame and melted. No, we're gonna keep her with bolter. We're gonna keep her with a bolter. That's not quite what I'm looking for. We haven't. Oh no, this is right. This is common. What is her strength at right now? 30? Keep pumping her ballistic skill then. Plus 5 to the same characteristics. Yeah, could be useful. I don't like that. I've never liked that ability when I see it because it has the same archetype. See, if that applies to everything, that doesn't make any sense. That doesn't seem like it's very well built at all for how it's set up. No, I don't want that either. Okay, you know what? There's really not much we can get right now, so I'm going to go ahead and just grab the heavy weapon proficiency now and get it out of the way. So we don't have to worry about that going forward. Now, as for you, Adira, that could be useful. Precision attack, cover efficiency is reduced by 3 plus perception bonus divided by 3 times stack exploit. And we'll have a higher crit chance. Target gains 4 plus 2 times psi rating, intelligence, protective fellowship, willpower, intelligence. Oh, that's really not that worthwhile right now. Target must pass a willpower resistance test with a minus. They will spend all their move as close as possible towards the psyker. That really doesn't seem that useful in a lot of cases, since you don't really want people moving closer to you most of the time. No, we don't want to expand her powers yet. She's already got divination. Sensory deprivation, though, is a good one. Anything else we would want? No. We can only get this or her agent. So yeah, well, talents, common talent, special abilities, skills. I don't think I need any of the others. No. We're going to go with sensory deprivation because it's a very, very good debuff. I remember using it a few times the first time I played this when the game first came out. I remember it being quite good. What is his skill? He does have high awareness. He actually has very low lore warp, and I've got that covered myself. Her other skills are pretty shit. So I guess we'll just bump up her awareness then. And lastly, lovely, lovely outlaw. Give him a toughness increase. Athletic. Sure. And stance. Yeah, we grabbed weapon skill. Characteristic, he gets 1, 2, 3 more of those. Yeah, because we can grab, well, we'll grab toughness, and then we'll alternate between toughness and weapon skill. That seems like a good call for him. Don't need anything from those, I don't think. Maybe. Gain an extra turn, 3 MP, and increase their cover efficiency for 1 round. That could be useful. Also allows the naval officer to use any ranged weapon in threatened areas, knocks enemies prone, and will push them 1 cell away. Not really that useful. I'm going to be going full melee with him, so that's not going to be that good for it. Gain 30% to cover. Oh, yeah, that's not going to help. Could go with characteristic training. Melee superiority. Any target surrounded by more enemy ally. In melee combat, any target surrounded by more allies than enemies receives a +10 weapon skill for each additional ally. Larger creatures cannot be surrounded by more than 2 enemies. Okay, so yes, we want this because he's going to be in the thick of the fighting. He's also probably going to want dueling mastery at some point so that he can increase his parry. As well as it will not die. But for right now, we'll grab Combat Master so that nobody can outflank him, basically. There we go. Alright. There. We talked to everybody here. Alright, it's time to keep moving. Take a sip real fast. You know, I was really skeptical on the GamerSupps Good flavor when they advertised it as being like a cherry slushy, but honestly, it really does taste like a melted cherry slushy. Color me shocked. All right, let's go deal with this void ship, which, if I remember, is our first merchant. The Vox crackles to life, and Master Helmsman Ravor addresses you. What we have here, Lord Captain, not very noticeable, but there's a void ship sitting in the local asteroid field. It sure is quiet, like it's huddled up in there on purpose. Not like I'm surprised, the thing is more scrap-heap than a ship. Somebody sure went to town on it. We're registering critical damage to the hull, depressurization of several compartments, but there is an incoming transmission now as well. You hear us? The Vox transmission hisses and abruptly cuts to static. Do not require assistance. Repeat, do not require assistance. Copy? The Vox relays a different voice. Keep following. Pass us by, won't they? No, will protect us. Oh, Captain. Though our augurs cannot determine the allegiance of the vessel. To be brief, there's an unidentified and badly damaged vessel within an asteroid field near the Rykad Filia colony that is refusing help. Which, not to be too fine a point on it, has not yet been offered. Ravor, can we establish communications? Let the vessel identify itself. Aye, Lord Captain. Connections established. Unknown vessel, we are receiving you. Identify yourselves. I repeat, identify yourselves. For a brief moment, the Vox only hisses and snaps, and then several voices at once start shouting over. Do not tell him! No, we're done for! This is Thunderfang. We are, one of the voice falters, uncertainty is replaced by a merchant vessel. We're a merchant vessel. Do you copy? Private merchant vessel. A merchant vessel. Of course they are. Damn right. I know that. Thunderfang.
Revo, can our Auspex get a damage report on the unknown vessel? Telemetry from the Auspex shows multiple hull breaches, most likely caused by the guns of a combat ship. Several compartments are leaking air, the bridge has been almost completely obliterated, 2 of the engines are critically damaged. Somebody gave them a thrashing so solid they barely managed to limp away. Thunderfang, why can we not identify you? You make out a hoarse and furious whispering even over the crackling of the static. Why? I don't know. What if... No, certainly not. The whispering dies and a clear, youthful voice cuts through the static. Our vessel is badly damaged. The damage is preventing the correct identification. We assure you, merchant vessel. Thunderfang does not require aid. Thunderfang, your vessel is incredibly damaged. What happened? The Vox responds by bursting into a cacophony of sounds, words, and emotions. Someone chuckles bitterly, another swears with some foul expletive, and yet another hisses, fearlessly demanding that the other shut up. You manage to make out a little from this noise. We were just flying, minding our own business, straight out of the blue, and opened fire. Miracle we could get away, Emperor protected. And then more fire. Who? Void only knows. Roasted our tail, bombed everything. Our folks are left without help. We never got to them. Thunderfang, stop playing games and explain again what your business is here. And this time I highly recommend the truth. Oh, you happy now? What have you done? It's too late now. The Vox channels again filled with angry whispering from several voices. The whispers and static are drowned out by a clear, slightly frightened voice. Do you copy? We are from the Fellowship of the Void. We did not come here to loot. We're on different business. To help our own out of jail. Do not hurt, please. We already had our crown complete. How about striking a deal? Our hold is full of I mean goods. Yes, goods, not plunder. In case you are unaware, Lord Captain, the Fellowship of the Void is a disorderly assembly of several dozen pirate factions within the Coronis Expanse. They consider themselves above regular heretics, solely because they sometimes have Vox conversations with those whom they are about to board. Were it up to me, I would make them eat a salvo from the macro cannons to shake the scum loose from the decks. They deserve it. The honeyed voice of the High Factotum interrupts the transmission with a polite cough. I would wait on destroying the vessel were I you, although the moral aspects of their livelihood do cause some awkward questions. The Fellowship of the Void remains a major supplier of goods to several local markets. Perhaps we will find dealing with them acceptable, especially in a situation where performing a warp jump is currently impossible. Thunderfang, prepare for us to come alongside and for commercial exchange. Now, we do want to try and get enough loot so that we can get all of this by the end. But we have to get to a high enough relation. So, I'm going to split that. Yes. I'm going to split that. Yes. We're going to drop off the extra. Everybody's equipped right now, correct? Yeah. We're going to go ahead and add this cargo right now. That's a regular shotgun. Yep. We're going to keep that. Heirloom auto pistol 2. The axe go to cargo. Lasgun. Fish revolver for right now. And the well-maintained lasgun. That out. Don't want to send any of those. Don't want to send any consumables. I'm always paranoid about sending off anything from, like, notable items, even if we're supposedly already done with them, because for all I know, something will go... If I don't have it on hand, something will go wrong. So yeah, we're just gonna... Yeah, we're just gonna hold off on that. We're not gonna use any of that. What do we have here? With name. We need... You have some heretical trophies. Would get us a good amount of the way to the first level. But right now, to grab what we can from here. Camouflage robes, melta charges, armor. Dodge penalty of 0.5. Oh, it's heavy armor. Okay, we'll give that to Abelard. And we got a flamer, so I can use a flamer. Yeah. And then he gave us melted charges and the camouflage roll. Ranged attacks decrease. The wearer's ranged attack decrease their target's dodge by 5%. Does not stack, but in the early portion of the game, that's still pretty good. We have what it takes to get to the first rank. We probably do. Power Maul would be good for Abelard. Gains a +5 bonus to critical hit chance for the next ranged attack. Same enemy, does stack. And a fencing body blow. Dodge against melee attack. Also really good. Yeah, okay. Heretic trophies. I'm gonna trade those over to them. Fuel, armor kits. Those. You know what? Just, well. Yeah, no, let's go. Damn. Seriously? That was the one that was given to me. That was the one that was given me to deal with Cassio. Yeah, you know what? Add to cargo. Send that in. Trade. There we go. Alright. Now, we can't get anything above a 12, but that's fine. So we're going to grab the Power Maul. Medkits. Venezuela pattern. Autogun. And now we've just got to get our profit factor up a little bit higher. Alright. That's done. Bring up our inventory real fast. Flamethrower. Yeah. Very nice. Very nice. Now, as for the pattern autogun, is actually decent for, if I remember correctly, it's actually decent for her. Because the bolter early on is actually not that good, all things considered. Unfortunately. I'm also going to go ahead. Hold on. Is the well-maintained lasgun better? Yes. So we want to give that to her. We want to give you the long las. You've got a ranged weapon that's better. Chainsword has slightly more damage, but this has way higher armor penetration, can shove, and has power swing, which hits quite literally everything around him. We're going to go ahead and equip that. The Deadshot revolver is also, in my opinion, well, it's probably not that much better, but I love it. I love the idea of him going hammer and revolver on people, so I think that works quite well. She's got her autogun. She's got her lasgun. I know it's heresy that I've given the Sister of Battle something that isn't a bolter, a flamer, or a meltagun, but the early game bolter for her is just not that good. It's really just not that good. If that's the case, though, we can go ahead and take the lasgun off of her, and we'll go ahead and equip her with Ripper auto pistol or the heirloom auto pistol. Ripper has lower damage, 2 additional shots, same max range, slightly higher ammo. Solid projectile weapons have increased over penetration. Doesn't really seem to matter. So we'll give her the, we'll give her the heirloom auto pistol. And we'll go ahead and also equip her with the Wrath of St. Drusus. There we go. At least I gave her a chainsword. Better than nothing. I don't really think anybody else wants a pistol. So, yeah, we'll go ahead and add that to cargo. Add the las guns to cargo as well. That takes care of that. Abelard, will this actually be... Yes, this is a straight upgrade for him. Doesn't look like an upgrade, that's for sure. Nothing else I needed there. Also pick ranged attacks decrease target's dodge by 5. We're going to go ahead and give that to her. I'm going to throw that on her then. You know what? We're going to put that on her for right now. I don't think anybody needs this. Where gains an additional one resolve whenever it... Good. I'll probably end up scrapping it at some point in the near future. Alright, next stop. Rykad Philia. Prison planetoid. Alright, let's see what we got in here. Yep, we're taking everybody with us. Wow. Time to crack some heads. As I distinctly remember, this is mostly a combat operation that we're dealing with here.
Is there money to be made?
Oh, there's going to be some dialogue with this pilot Raquel.
What do we have here?
Come in, escort. This is Captain Vicari. Escort, please come in.
The pale young woman looks at you with a mixture of hope and disbelief swirling in her eyes. You notice her hands trembling as she clutches her weapon.
Who are you? Did you come from the planet? Are you reinforcements? Saints' teeth, I thought somebody would never come.
Abelard? Well, no. No. She's panicking. She's a normal person. She doesn't need Abelard to verbally bitch slap her with who I am. I am the rogue trader Savannah de Ferenzi von Valencius. Introduce yourself.
At once, sir.
The woman stands at attention.
Captain Raquel Vicari, servant of House Winterscale and pilot of this shuttle. It is an honor to be greeting His Lordship von Valencius.
Tell me of this place.
The only settlement on Rykadi Philia is the penal colony. The prisoners work in the mines and the domed quarries, mostly sulfur, serum dust, and sand, which is all melted down. Honestly, a rather nondescript place, or it was prior to current events.
What exactly happened here?
There's been a prison riot. Sadly, it's being led by the prison warden himself, the Honorable Anathagon Castigalia. He has allied himself with the rabble that he himself was supposed to watch and declared Rykadi Philia to be independent of the authority of the system's lawful governor. I came here as the shuttle pilot alongside the Honorable Yvain Winterscale, son of Caligos Winterscale, rogue trader, vanquisher of Xenos, forever triumph over the enemies of humanity.
She details, enunciating every word of her overlord's title.
Young Lord Winterscale wished to speak to the warden personally, so he could put an end to this lawless treason. He and his escort went ahead and...
She grows pale.
I haven't been able to contact them over the Vox for a very long time now.
Yvain. Abelard mutters, stroking his beard. Yes, one of the distant younger offspring. That's as much as I know about him, which means he hasn't distinguished himself in any meaningful way.
Yvain Winterscale has made several diplomatic visits to Urak 5 on behalf of his father, rogue trader Caligos Winterscale. The Great Regent would not have granted entry to someone dishonorable, which means, whatever happened in this terrible, malodorous place, we must aid this man of noble blood.
The warden himself is spearheading the riot.
Yes.
He bites a lip.
No one expected this. Master Castigalia is a nobleman from a respected governor house and a vassal to House Winterscale. All of a sudden, he just proclaimed Rykadi Philia was now his personal domain, that the prisoners were his subject, and that he would never bow to anyone again. It's pure heresy. And I take it they're looking forward to a diet of sand and gravel. What kind of madman starts a revolt on a barren rock?
Why exactly would the young Lord Winterscale have felt the need to parley with the dissidents?
It is a personal matter. Master Castigali was the seditious warden, is Lord Yvain's childhood friend. When my lord heard of the riot, the news saddened him greatly, and he rushed here without delay, in hopes of bringing his old friend back to his senses, no doubt.
The The first winter scale in my memory who prefers to talk rather than shoot or slash first. He smiles faintly. Young Lord Winterscale is not his father's shadow. If he is determined to save his friend, he won't back down. I pray to the throne he is still alive and well. He's been gone for such a long time, and I really don't like this place. Cassia frowns in confusion. Theobald executed his wife and only son on the mere suspicion of treason against House Orsilio. Why did the noble Yvain rush to save someone who had betrayed his house? Do bonds of friendship give one the right to make such an inexcusable mistake? I am also looking for a man by the name of Heinrich von Kallux. Would he be here, perhaps? Unless it's one of the prisoners or guards, then it seems unlikely. There have been no shuttles in working order other than yours and mine. There is nothing else anyone could have used to reach this place. Is there anything else I should be appraised of before I set out? Some of the rebels have holed up in the barracks. I don't know how many, but given that this is the only way to where the negotiations are taking place, I would expect heavy resistance. I would ask you to take caution, my lord. Lord Winterscale's guards minced the entrance so that the rebels couldn't get to our shuttle. I have no more questions. Excuse yourself, man. The woman freezes for a moment before asking hesitantly, Your lordship, if I have a minute of your time, I wouldn't ever have dared to trouble you with a personal matter. But the situation, in any case, have you been to the capital of Rykad Minoris yet? I wanted to ask if you had seen a man there, a communications officer by the name of Jasper. What is your relationship with this man? We are engaged, your lordship, he declares, somewhat bashfully. I am afraid I have not been to Rykad Minoris and know nothing of this officer's fate. That is a shame. May the Emperor keep that fool from harm. Thank you for your time. She bowed, and you could tell by the desperation in her eyes that she is exhausted, frightened, and wishes to be off this planetoid as soon as possible. All right.
I always keep my options open.
If you would be so kind, Argenta.
I better myself through my service.
Thank you. Go ahead and open that up. So, bottom. Go. The guard post has been vacant for a long time. There's a layer of dust on every surface. Yeah, I remember this place. Wait, actually. He's the strongest. He's the highest strength. He does. I'm gonna go ahead and make sure that you've got that on hand just in case. And a force grenade. Alright, into the barracks. Pretty sure they ambush us pretty much out the gate.
This could be an opportunity.
Argenta, don't you find it difficult to be without your sisters? You are a soldier without a squad.
I will fight alongside my sisters again. But my present fate is not a burden to me. No matter where I go, or who I am with, I bring death to heretics. That is what matters. Sins hidden in the heart turn all to decay.
You wouldn't
What
be
deeds await us?
kind to get around this and disarm that for me.
Never doubt me.
Thank you. What have we got? The remains of a meal, one far too lavish for even a hive world, let alone a prison colony. A long string of names extends beneath the heading, Top Quarry Workers of the Cycle. There. Was that the symbol of the Inquisition on the wall? What the hell? Oh no, that's the Astra Telepathica symbol with the eye. Right. It always bugged me you can't get into this room despite the fact that we can see into it. Labor... What does that say? Labor to the citizens, Prometheum to the stars. Oh, yeah. Just good old classic
There.
Imperial
I
propaganda.
woke up with a feeling of wonder, as
Get
if
you
a
around
field
there.
of flowers was blossoming nearby. A child was saved from death. 1,000 heretics were burning alive, begging and sobbing and howling.
I love Argenta's lines. Good. Scraps of typical prison food repulsive to the senses. I just wish they weren't so long all the time. What we got over here? Prison Diary of Atishan, Part 1. Grok shit. Why me? Why? I missed my tithe payment 12 years ago. 12! The inspector's writ got lost somewhere in the bowels of the planetary administratum and was there, lying there this whole time, but they made sure to remember to tack on the fines every month. By the time they found the blasted paper and finally informed me, the total sum was so obscene it would have taken 3 generations of my descendants if I had had any to pay it off. Fate was sealed, trial, sentence, prison, all because of some daft rotter who shoved my paper in the wrong box. To be fair, I think I got it up pretty easily. My bed in the barracks is about as hard as the slab of rockcrete I've got at home. Working in the quarry ain't much tougher than my old job, and the rules void take me. That old sod that governs Rykad Minoris is a bloody sadist by comparison. It's a strange old place. I haven't been beaten once. The guards bark orders all the time, but they never hit us. They got this inner circle of chosen prisoners, optimatum they call it. You can get in, Emperor's my witness, basically get a day off. They let you out of your cell and into the yard by the big barracks. And I tell you what, they let you rest there and feed you better than whatever swill they're giving you at the canteen. They told me it's to improve our motivation and all that, foster a stronger desire to reform and become a worthy servant of the Imperium once more. But I know it for what it is, a club for the Warden's favorites. Same stories everywhere else, suck up to the people in power and you get some nice perks. They say the whole thing was the Warden's idea. Funny man, our Warden. He looks more noble than nobility itself. Tall, groomed, teeth are even, eyes burning, boots so polished you can see yourself when you move to lick 'em. But that nutter doesn't want people licking his boots. He walks around looking like he's deep in thought, all right. Only a couple of the guards at his side. And he sometimes, if you can believe it, sometimes talks to prisoners. What's your name? He asks them all quiet, like, why were you condemned? Do you feel remorse? He never even yells at no one, never orders them to be flogged. Instead, he doles out rewards to those he likes. Keeps telling us things like how we should strive to make society believe in us. Whatever you say, Master Warden. Starting tomorrow, I'm going to try to join these optimates of yours. I'm stuck in here till the day I die, and that means no return to society for me. But with the Emperor's help, I might just join the ranks of the local. Yep, sounds like a standard Imperial prison. And here they are. Yep.
I'll make an example out of you. Surrender.
If I recall. Oh, he goes first? Are you kidding me? Oh, well, we're about to get... He's gonna just start chucking grenades, isn't he? Yep.
Why did I not foresee this?
Okay. Let me see here. What can we do? We're gonna throw a zone of fear out there. That's good. They're all weakened. They're all behind cover. Using their characteristics by 14 for 1 round. We're going to go ahead and give that to Argenta.
If you insist, Lord Captain.
Then we're going to give Argenta an additional turn. Oh, okay. For a second, I thought I still had the las gun on her. I wasn't sure if she had her las gun out or if she had something else out.
I'll do it.
Pop him, please.
None can escape the Emperor's judgment.
It's at least one down. And please dive behind cover if you would. I think do anything else. No. And turn. Yep, here they come.
Death to non-believers.
Death to non-believers. Yes, yes, buddy. Sure thing. We're going to have Argenta come over here.
In battle. I refuse.
If we can pop shot both of these guys. Alright, 1 down, 1 damaged. Work with that.
Such is the will of chaos. Scared yet?
Yes, please bunch up. Please bunch up. What the hell? What the fuck was that? Oh, used ability God damn it. Well, I was going to have Abelard go over there, but I need him to deal with
Tried
this.
and tested tactics are the best ones.
Oh, I forgot to use charge. Oh, well. No, we don't want to do that. We do want to do this, though. Please smack her. Thank you. Oh, I should have used that first. Well, I can still force him to focus on me. Yeah, you don't get to go anywhere, buddy. That off. Really? So that counts as a... That's weird. You know what? We're just going to... We're going to go over here. Could do that, or I could do that. We're going to go ahead and injure... No, that's not going to do anything. Does that do more damage? Yes, it does. Okay. Go ahead and do that. Pop him. Thank you. Then we're going to analyze.
Will do.
Thank you. Oh, we could also do that. Yes.
On it.
Please blind him. Thank you. Sucks to be you, buddy. Now... Oh, hold on. I move here.
I won't stand for it.
There we go. Flambe. I don't think there's anything else I can do.
My gut tells me it's a bad idea.
Oh, you can only do it. Oh, okay, when they're already under the effect of burning. Okay. No, that's not going to be enough even if I do that. So I'd rather have them come to me. Yep. So he's running this way.
Chaos guides me.
He runs there. Cassia. Can't cast that there, so that's not going to do me any good. Going to... List it? No, this... Bring it down? Bring it down. Oh. Yeah, if we're just going to do a single target, we may as well just do that.
Your end was inevitable.
Burst into flames, buddy. That ends her turn. If you do that here, it'll force her to move.
I am a navigator, not a servitor.
Which then triggers his attack. Ah, she dodged. Fuck. Go ahead and give him a boost.
I serve the ruinous powers.
Argenta, if you would. Wow, okay. Thanks, game. That's just... Wow. Okay. Alright, fine. Fine.
I'm here, maggot.
Really?
It's nothing.
Ow! What the f... Okay, I really don't like you. I really don't like you.
Follow my lead.
That too far away? Are you kidding me?
It will be done.
Kill him.
One fewer target.
Thank you, Abelard. Get as close as possible, if you would, please.
What is this foreboding?
Go here.
Anything
Shoot her in the
else?
head, please.
What an unfortunate
Thank
turn
you.
of fate.
Bloody hell.
Taking calculated risk is in my second nature. It's as good as
Set him on
done.
fire. There we go.
Step aside. The navigator is coming.
we're
I'm
gonna
not
force you to
accustomed
move.
being ordered around.
Yep. Causes you to do that. And then we're going to bring
Isn't
it
this a
down
job
on
for the
Magenta.
serfs?
I swear to God. I swear to God. Thank you. We literally just needed one hit to hit. All we need. Nobody's injured. Everybody is refreshed.
Keep your
There we
wits
go.
about you.
Nice. Combat handled. Chainmail, medium armor. Huh? Yep. I don't think the chainmail's of any real use. Anybody? Yeah. It's medium armor, but it's almost as bad as heavy armor. No. Go ahead now. Oh,
Let us not dawdle.
what do we got? Knife we don't need. Gas cloud grenade could be useful. The rest of that will go to cargo. All of that cargo. Yep. All of it. What do we got over here?
As it should be.
The grease-stained edges of the poster detach ever so slightly. It appears that it was frequently removed and rehung. The cages have been placed in plain view of the beds. Inside are traces of blood and excrement. Ugh. What have we got here? Oh, yes. Part 2 of the guy's journal. I swear the Emperor hasn't forsaken me. Guess who just came down the shuttle gangway among the fresh batch of prisoners? Clenson Throne Damned Willia. Former Administratum Clerk. The clerk. The very same scum who lost the writ about the missing payment. He's the reason I'm in this hole. Don't know what they threw him in for, but I've never felt better in my life. He's not just behind the same bars as me, he's fresh meat. And I'm a venerable optimate now, respected by everyone in the colony. The warden just came up with a new improvement. From now on, anyone who underperforms, misbehaves, or causes trouble any other way is to be punished by the community. Specifically, by the local best and brightest. Yours truly, the Optimate. The last 2 sods who failed to meet their quota were stripped naked, whipped, and thrown into cages in the big barracks. That's where they have to eat, sleep, and shit now with everyone watching. I thought to myself then, that isn't right. They've taken this too far. Now, just you wait, you piece of grok shit. I'll get you something. These cages are calling your name. Well. Oh, no. Add inventory. Well. Bare beds made from metal sheets swing back and forth on rusted chains. Whoever is forced to sleep on them would not take much for them to fall. What does the Grenadier have? Carapace, stub revolver doesn't matter. Keep the force grenade. The beds here are bolted to the floor. Some have thin, torn bed sheets and tattered pillows.
I always have a backup plan.
Cass, tell me, what do you see when you look at me?
Usually a colorful pandemonium, but now your colors have faded. Are you afraid of me, Idira? Or of what I might see in you?
Oh boy! Corpse pile. I can't imagine. The chopped up slabs of flesh have been thoroughly washed with blood. Oh boy, part 3. I'm scared. I should have known all the charity from the warden was going to bring trouble. No noble, no matter how balmy would pull anything of that sort, but that man. It started with little things. The warden would come by to talk, except he used to ask questions before. Now it's just sermons. Some gibberish about the path of purgation, the sanctity of sacrifice, seeing with blind eyes. I listened and nodded. Yes, Master Warden, of course, Master Warden. He could say whatever rubbish he wanted as long as those tasty Optimate meals kept coming. I thought everybody else was doing the same, just nodding along to please the man. I was wrong. After that, the people in the barracks started
yapping on about purgation and blindness. Apparently, us Optimates were no longer just the Warden's favorite. We were, Emperor forgive me, prophets of some kind who were meant to save the rest of this sorry lot or awaken them or make them see some rubbish. People are now supposed to make sacrifices to the Optimates. Yesterday, the sap who slept in the bed underneath mine in my first year cut off his own damn hair, crawled on his knees towards me. He handed me the ear, he begged me not to forsake him when the faithful hour comes. What in the throne am I supposed to do with an ear? Why is everyone, every single one, staring at me all the time? The Warden said the time was nigh, that fate had truly great things in store for the Optimates. I went to look how my good friend Clenson was doing. He hasn't spoken for 3 months since I had all of his top teeth ripped out. He spoke today. He looked straight at me, and he said, "Dead man." I kept hitting him until it hurt me. Now my fist and my feet are bruised. Half the barracks just stood there and watched and prayed. I'm scared. And then we have a lore check.
I always get the job done.
Yep, this symbol before you bears a familiar scent, that of the dark forces of chaos. Severed human body
I
parts.
always keep my options open.
Prison guard. Yep. Judging by the number of hoard morsels, dozens of victims were slain here. Yep, so we found out what happened to the guards. Soylent Green. Well, honestly, they didn't even go that far. They just chopped
Just
them
as
up.
I planned.
Go. Oh, I remember this event. The dawn is nigh. The Optimates will guide us into a new existence. Yes, yes, dear brethren. Have a taste of my steel. Oh, how I've longed for this, my dear brethren. Shank, shank, shank. Stab, stab, stab. Splat, splat, splat. Lol. Thank the throne. Normal-looking faces. We thought we were going to die in here with the nutters. The old man with a gaping smile drops his weapon and holds out his hands in a placating gesture. Please don't shoot us, your nobleness. Just let us speak. Now, this is a welcome chain. Talking before shooting. Still, Lord Captain, the look of this ragtag bun inspires trust. Give me a reason not to execute you on the spot. Here's the deal, sir. We're honest, quiet inmates. We didn't want nothing to do with the riot. Sitting it out wasn't exactly an option either. The warden's lapdogs made short work of those who refused. So we had to, play along. But that's all it was. Play. We never met. No offense to Governor Medine. Governor Medine, nor to the lawful authority of House Winterscale. Just give us a chance, eh? We just want to wait this out until everything blows over. We can go back to ourselves and quietly do the rest of our time. A repentant, honest heretic. How novel. Judging by Abelard's tone, the Seneschal is utterly unimpressed by the old man's ingratiating monologue. The low-born speak is mottled with colors that conceal his true, darker hues. This old man has a long history of lies, and he is using his wiles on us as well. But I also see no foul corruption or ill intent in his words. Tell me more of the warden and the riot. Ugh, I saw your tongue talking about that heretic, but if you insist, here's how it is. The warden of this here prison, Honorable Master Castiglia. I like Castiglia better. I'm just going to call him Castiglia. Was a crackpot from the start. The previous warden ran things the proper way. Prayer, 1 meal a day, work, a punch in the chompers from the guards if he did anything, work again. But the new one, you know what his first decree was? He introduced lunches, dinners. By the 9 devils, it was 3 meals a day. The man was obviously stark raving mad. Things only went downhill from there. The guards stopped with teeth punching. The warden forbade them. Instead, the overseer started counting which prisoners were digging up more things in the quarry or swinging their pickaxes harder or whatnot. And then, would you believe it, they put together a list of best workers. And if someone on that list also showed good behavior, they got declared an optimate. That's the upper crust among us jailbirds. Or that's how it was at first. Then the warden decided it was the optimates, not the guards, who should be in charge of punishment. And that it wasn't the overseer's job to watch the prisoners work, it was the optimate. Well, let me tell you, that was when those goody two-shoes really started to shine. The guards aren't even in the same league as our fellow prisoners, the optimate. In the old days, we had 5 or 10 skiffs. kicking it a week. Now we were lucky if it was below 50. That wasn't the end of it. Warden Castigalia moved out of his chambers to live right in the quarry under the dome. Something in his new home must have scrambled his brains and started spouting the wildest things about the Optimates or saints who will behold the truth. He started talking, taking them to the quarry. Not all of them came back. The ones who did, you wouldn't even recognize them, more beast than man. They started butchering people left and right, guards, the overseers. The warden had armed them. That's the whole sob story. But I knew from the moment he let us have dinners that, this wasn't going to end well.
The old Kudger's right. Whenever nobles start giving handouts to commoners, something always goes wrong.
He notices your look.
I mean, with all due respect, your look. No offense intended.
If I spare you, what do I gain from it? How can lowly jailbirds hope to thank your noble self? But I have an inkling. You see, we're, how should I put this? A bit different from the rest of the prisoners in here. They're all petty thieves. Rykad minoras, debtors, gutter snipes. No one's serious, but we, you know, cut from a different cloth. We're fortune seekers of the void. Why don't we tell you we're on Footfall Station? Yes, Footfall, the only shipyard and the best market in the expanse. Where on Footfall you can find some serious business-minded people and how you can get yourself a very special discount from them on some very special goods. What kind of very special people? They're so very serious people.
Hey, welcome back, Diamond. Good to have you again.
Yes. Well, the most serious kind, your nobleness. Have you heard about the Fellowship of the Void? The largest pirate alliance in the Expanse. There's no real leader, but there's some very serious captains who decided that cutting each other's throat over loot was, how do you call it, counterproductive. But cutting throats together, that's anti-counterproductive. And well, their joint efforts leave them with an excise of spoils, so they needed to dispose of it. And I, your nobleness, just happen to know someone who handles that sort of dealings on behalf of these very serious people. You're our pirates, and I came across a void ship belonging to your associates, who I believe were planning to break you out. The man grunts, puffs, then makes up his mind. Well, that's all out of the bag. Our fellows were supposed to come get us a long time ago, but they got tied up somewhere, Void Kraken's gullet with a lot of them. And in all this time, we had to wait. This happened. Pardon me for trying to pull the synth wool over you, your lordship. It's just that, well, we want nothing to do with this whole warden nonsense. So what now? Will you let us go?
Adira cracks her neck. Oh, sure, no problem. Today you tell us a little lie. Tomorrow you stick a torpedo in our side from that ship of yours. It doesn't fall apart the moment our helmsman sneezes in its general direction.
Very well. I will spare you. Oh, that's great to hear, your nobleness. Just great. Now, that's a true aristocrat. Not that warden creep. Where was I? Well, if you're ever on Footfall Station, there's a district there, the Shadow Quarters. It's called that because it's located behind the statue of our holiest emperor. It's known folks who called it something else, also on account of it being behind the statue. I'd recommend not repeating their mistake, I tell you. Reverend Hieronymus wasted no time finding and burning the lot of them. Forgive an old man for getting distracted. Footfall, right, the Shadow Quarter. There's a bar there, built into the remains of an old starship. And in the bar, in the back room, is a certain Riser who does her business. Tell her Grandpa Bakval says hello. You'll be her favorite client in a blink of an eye. There are, well, your nobleness will be going now, if you don't mind. Well, I shall not leave you here to die at the hands of the warden's henchmen. Go, tell my pilot that it is the Lord Captain's order that you be sent to my ship. You will join my ship's crew, and have my personal pardon as the rogue. Thank you. We are most grateful, your nobleness. The old man glances at you somewhat skeptically, but then smiles and leaves.
We are a rogue trader. We've got to maintain good connections with the underworld. Besides, as pointed out, these guys are not heretics. They're just assholes, which, honestly, by 40k standards, means they're about average. Clumps of dust, but no trace of weapons or gear. This storage has not been used in some time. Also, I'm pretty sure these guys just, yeah, it's just auto pistols. Send all that to cargo.
Always keep your eye on the price.
Here. Nothing? Here? Oh, we've got plenty of melting charges. That was really loud. That was exceptionally loud in my headphones. Jesus Christ.
We should deal with this.
Oh. Gas cloud, grenade, medical, diviner staff. I don't think actually does anything different. Gives willpower and perception, yeah. I don't think that's any different than the one I've got. Ah, willpower, but not perception. Would that be better? Nope, she's already got that. And I want her to keep the lightning. So, yeah, not gonna worry about that. Bow hammer. Shotguns knock enemies back when shot at effective range. Do I want that? When the wearer uses endure, they immediately remove burning, toxin, or bleeding. I think really the only person who can use that is him, and I'd rather give him additional dodge whenever we use heroic actions. Anything else? Nope. Nope. No one else is using pistols, right? No. And I don't want her to use that. I don't think that ability does anything good, if I recall correctly. Won't let me tell what it is. That's not helping either. Alright, we can... Hold on.
Yes.
What does it do? The next hit against the target will be an automatic critical hit. Oh, actually... Oh. One enemy creature within a 10-cell radius. That's actually not bad. I do know that in the next fight, lightning is not a very good element. Because the main enemy you use it on is not going to be there. There's no real large groups of enemies. So we're actually going to keep that. And try to guarantee some critical hits on people.
Is there money
That
to
sounds
be
like
made?
a good idea. Let's do that. Alright, where are we? Oh, let's get this down. Thank you. Yeah, we're not going to level up until after the combat encounter, are we? Dead. No. Corpse in a uniform decorated with the winter scale coat of arms. The dead guard did not even have time to draw a weapon. The attack must have come as a surprise.
Keep your wits about you.
Down to the quarry. Okay. I distinctly remember hating this combat encounter. The accretions on the outside of the structure indicate some regularly occurring natural phenomenon, possibly poison gases. Okay. Now, I know there's two ways to go about this. We can go this way, which does put us close to them, but also puts us in range of all of their melee guys. It also means it's harder to hit these stupid things that give buffs to the enemy. Or we can go this way, which is a bit more open, but also more open towards them, so we'll be able to return fire easier. They're not going to be able to get in cover. I know there's a sniper up there. Okay. Anything?
Your seneschal is always there for you.
Anything else we want? We've got grenades. Would the gas grenades be better? 8 toxic damage to anyone who enters the area or starts running. No, I don't think there's anything that we can add to that. Nothing I can add there either. The weapons are all set, and I don't think there's anything over there that I can use. So yeah, there's really not many options. We're just going to have to go for it. All right. Here goes nothing. Oh, that's weird. It usually... There we go. Now it's starting. I told you, Heavy. They're hiding so much from us. Arrogant mentors. Holy brothers and sisters. What have they ever given us? Nothing but a pile of fibs and useless admonitions. The voice of the man standing with his back to you sounds almost soft, heedless of everything but what is in front before him. He leans over a prisoner dressed in expensive clothing. But Aurora, she is different.
She spoke with me like no one ever had before, revealed the truth to me. Now I can reveal it to you. You would just stop struggling for one moment. What? The man finally realizes he's not alone and turns, clutching a long, thin metallic rod with blood dripping off of it. We have guests. From the Von Valencia ship, I would wager. Evie, my dear, you will have to wait. Do not wait, I beg of you. It's important that you feel everything, including your other eye. Come on. As the warden is speaking, a strange sensation draws your attention towards the ground, specifically an open pit in the loose dirt. A single word spontaneously surfaces in your mind. Cradle. The pit itself does not appear to be of much interest, but at some point it housed something of great importance. Something faintly familiar. The warden's words are suddenly drowned by a chorus of voices in your head. The entity that dwells in the recesses of your mind rejoices in a cacophony of cries. This place, it holds great significance for the entity. In the frantic chanting of the voices, you can almost make out words that speak of an ancient grave, one that was opened, for it contained a priceless treasure, a most coveted prize that was retrieved by the faithful after a centuries-long search. Such dreadful shades. Cassia recoils and covers her mouth. The colors of this place, putrescent to the core, and these people. Their colors ooze madness, despair, pain, and doom. How do you know who I am? Lies have many faces, but there is only one truth, and it has been laid bare before me. I knew the enemy of truth would come here sooner or later.
You know, we had this guy once. He was a quiet one. One day, he walked into the middle deck bar, threw one back, pulled out a gun, and started shooting people left and right without saying a word. Then he shoved the barrel in his mouth and blew his own brains out. Our warden here has exactly the same kind of look in his eyes right now.
Who is that on the table? My sincerest apologies. Where are my manners? Please allow me to introduce Yvain Winterscale, younger son of Caligos Winterscale in the fray. You know, he was so close to witnessing the truth right before you interrupted our little chat.
How dare you, you contemptible peasant! For every drop of noble blood you spill, you will pay 100-fold more.
Cassia turns to you for support with an expression that is equal parts indignant and frightened. Abelard shakes his head somberly. That poor fool. He knew nothing good would come of this naive attempt at negotiating with heretics. However, Yvain appears to still be alive. If we make haste, we may yet save him, and having a scion of House Winterscale in your debt would prove highly beneficial. You will step away from the hostage at once. The warden sneers and glances at the maimed young man. Hostage? How rude. Young Winterscale is my guest, a dearest friend. He came here himself, visit his old acquaintance, and have a heartfelt talk, and I am merely showing him some appropriate hospitality to commemorate our reunion. As if echoing his words, Yvain lets out a weak moan. What madness have you wrought upon this prison? Do you truly want to know? He becomes more animated and runs a hand through his matted hair. You note that it's been some time since he last trimmed his nails. This was my garden, where I tried to grow the seedings of a beautiful future. But that was before I realized there was no future, not in the sense that ordinary people understand it. We are too attached to this life, to the limitations of our weak bodies, to the short-sightedness of our eyes that can scarcely see. It is all so insignificant. The true future lies beyond real space, and the only way to reach it is through a cleansing sacrifice. Do you understand? Why did you mutilate these people? These are my optimates, saints who will guide the flock at the fated hour. Listen. He pauses and smiles. Can you hear? You can. They're crying out, calling. It's just that their cries are not meant for our ears. They cast their voices out there beyond the edge of the glass into the transparent quiet. There they are heard. There their call is answered.
Rogue, traitor, every moment spent talking to this heretic would be a moment spent destroying him and committing this place to purifying flames. Isn't it time we started?
That pit. There was something in there. An item of value. Tell me, Warden, what was the item and who took it from here? The Warden's gaze bores into you. Then he smiles, the little corners of his lips. You are too late. enemy of the truth. This bastion has already fulfilled its great purpose. You will never find the trail of the reclaimed relic that now rests in the hands of the devout. Who is Aurora? You've managed to barge in here, interfere with the prophetess's designs without even knowing who she is? Oh, it's too late. You will never attain the sun. All you can do is accept your fate. He stirs like a predatory beast. I do not like it when people take the prophetess's Aurora's name in vain. I desire your death, enemy of the truth. The warden raises his hand and the maimed people start thrashing about in their death throes. The time for words has passed. Optimates, give your power to this harbinger of Aurora. Let our foes see the truth or become awash in blood.
You will beg for mercy.
All right, here we go.
Grant none.
Okay.
The masters demand your death!
All right, how do we want to do this? Set Savani up over here. We're going to set Abelard. Fortunately, I need him to get into melee range as quickly as possible. Ira can go here. Argenta can go here. And Cassia can go over here. Well, no. We're going to have to keep him close for right now.
Death to the weak.
Well, thanks for that game.
I serve the ruinous powers!
Oh boy, there's going to be a bunch of you, isn't there? To Adira. Oh boy, Warden Castigali. Okay, so. Got the guard up there, we've got the prisoner, there's more guards. I use that, it's saying I can't use the attack, which is kind of bullshit in my opinion, but since this isn't an attack, but alright, whatever. Okay, we've got 4 actions. This does not take an action, so we're going to go ahead and... It has a chance to hit? What? That doesn't... Oh, that ruins my entire plan. Frick. Never mind then.
What?
Blind him,
Was
please.
that you? Or...
Come on, go to the bottom. Sensory willpower failed. Good. That'll make things easier. No, can't hit him. 95% chance to take out the guard. Yes, do it.
Be gone!
We have to thin their numbers, and then we can focus on these stupid lenses. God, I wish I had her lightning then. I could have used it on this and probably knocked out all 3 of these. Damn it. What else can we do? Expose weakness. Yes,
Anything
go ahead and do that. Go. Cassia, I want you... Actually,
Me?
honestly,
You
yeah.
insist, Lord
Go ahead and
Captain?
give the extra turn to Adira. Go ahead and... Which guard is that? Is that the one up there? Yes, it is. Okay, we can't do anything about him then. Let's go ahead and vaporize this guy.
What an unfortunate turn of fate.
Can't do anything else with her. Going to pop over here. Get them. There we go. I guess you could try to take a pot shot at him. Yeah, I didn't think so.
Let's make it quick.
Yep. Good, he missed.
Chaos guides me.
Need to get closer. Damn. Really? I still can't see him from that side. No, I can't. Fuck. Okay, okay. Shit. Hold on, hold on, hold on. I can't see him. If I move here... Wow, can I actually do that without hitting Abelard? I mean, I'll take it. Please don't hit Abelard. Holy crap, it actually worked. We're going to orchestrate flames.
Who if not me?
Then we're going to run and gun. And we'll burn both of them. Very nice. Oh, it destroyed the cover. Oh well. Yep, he's gonna run over this way. He's gonna run over this way. Oh, please get all close together so I can hit you all at the same time. That'd be great. No, that is a bad idea. If I move here and shoot that. Yes, we want to do that.
God Emperor, move through me.
We need to start breaking these.
In my heart.
You've got to be shitting me, right? Please hit it.
Without deeds is worthless.
There we go. Good, good, good. Good damage. Good damage. Alright, Abelard. No, we need to move closer. So we're going to move.
place is at the fore.
We're going to
At your beck and call.
put him down as the sworn enemy, and then we are going to hit everything
Victory
around
is
us.
in the- I took care of this one.
There we go. That really doesn't do me any good, simply because killing him does not actually change much. I'm going to hold off on using Brace for Impact. I'm going to go ahead and use Endure. Dira, you'd be so kind as to shoot this, please. Thank you for not missing. Jesus Christ, for a second there it did look like you missed. If you could go ahead and blind him as well. Resistance has failed. There we go. That's much better. Cassia, I don't think she can... Can she use that on her again?
I am a navigator,
Sweet.
not a servitor.
Go ahead and finish this off if you would, please. Now at least he can't frickin' spawn behind us. We're going to move you up.
Battlefields are always drowned in scarlet.
And then we're going to use this.
If I may. Grace at least.
Very nice, very nice. Maybe try to pop him. Nope. Okay. It was worth a shot. Yep, he's taking damage. Abelard's good. No problems. 0 damage. Perfectly fine. Yep, we're gonna run him past here.
I have strategy. I'll
Burn
make
him.
another enemy down.
Perfect. We gotta get up here. Start dealing some damage. For the end of combat. Yeah, you know what? We'll take it.
To it personally.
Can't do anything else with him, though. Genta...
The enemies of the Emperor will be undone.
I don't think she can hit that from here.
I
Nope.
will not.
I don't know if that'll get her enough movement. Oh, come on. Please let me shoot around the corner. Come on. Please, I can't. Hold on. Hold on. There we go. Wow, that was still not very much. On a stationary target, too. Jesus Christ. We're gonna... Wait, she can still fire? Oh, right, because it's...
As the Emperor
Oh, may as well.
commands, I act.
That's better than nothing. Honestly, we just want to hold him in place. Do not let him leave. Nope, just sit there and keep his attention, Abelard. That is literally all I need you to do.
But of course.
Heals 35. Wait, what? Did she just blow it up?
Oh, that makes things so much easier. Thank God, Adira. What else can we do? What else can we do?
I have read tomes of military tactics.
Yes, I'm sure you have, Cassia. Go ahead and give her another turn.
Doubt is for the weak.
And she did better. She's doing better with that than she was with the frickin' rifle. God damn. Cassia. I don't even... Yeah, she can't even see him from here. So, no point in that. Yep, he's burning. Takes damage, and then... Okay, yeah.
Here we go.
Oh, he's still on fire. That's good. Went straight for my guy. That's not good.
Chaos guides me. Pain and duty go hand
0
in
damage
hand.
still. Nice try, Duddy. Shit. How do I get away from this guy? Right. If I move, he's gonna attack me, and I don't like that. But if I don't move, he's still gonna attack me. So I don't have much of a
ready
choice.
For whatever comes.
Okay, good. Go ahead and pop that on him again. Go ahead and make
Who
sure he
if
can't
not
turn
me?
that off. Go, orchestrate flames. Oh, I got a free attack. May as well. Nope, that'll hit Abelard. We don't want to do that. Go. Stupid piece of shit. All right, move here.
I will bathe this battlefield in righteous fury.
Yes,
do it.
actually, the melee attack would be better. There we go. Switch back. Abelard, if you would be so kind as to beat the ever-loving crap out of this man. Yeah, it doesn't matter.
At
Just
your
hit him.
back and grey hair,
Mac.
sure hand.
Kira,
On it.
pop, pop, watching heathens
Be
drop.
gone.
And that just leaves this poor sucker. Oh, sorry, Diamond. I didn't even see that I got so wrapped up in trying to get this combat encounter under control. I don't even know which part of that you're referring to. I'm sorry about that. I got completely distracted. I don't think you can... I don't even think... Is Adira? I don't think Adira even has line of sight on that guy, which is unfortunate. Yeah, I need to give her the one that has the... Oh! That'll work. Just give that to Adira, have her move out of cover.
I shall prevail.
There we
I know
go.
what is to come. Will do. What an
There we go.
unfortunate turn of fate.
Yeah, sorry, Diamond. I was so hyper-focused on not letting that guy revive. No, to be fair, well, I was going to say she's not a bad officer character, but then I realized that 90% of Cassia's effectiveness comes from her navigator powers and not her officer powers. It's sort of like a person who should know tactics, doesn't actually follow those tactics, but still manages to win anyways. It's like, this should not be happening, but it is. And since it's on my side, I'm okay with it. I don't believe we've been properly introduced. Blood is bubbling on the young man's lips and his voice is barely audible, but even now it remains melodious and courteous. Yvain, Winterscale, af Coronis. Greatly pleased to make your acquaintance. On the rare days that Lord Winterscale visited Yurak 5, the station was awash in a mist of warm hues. We were forbidden from meeting each other, but I was delighted to see such rare colors in my home. Now, however, his colors are darkening. Oh, still. I try to keep up with it, and I guess that's my first real case of streamer tunnel vision that I see a lot of streamers talk about when they get into a game. And either they hyperfixate on one thing to the expense of others, or they hyperfixate on the game at the expense of chat, or they start talking to chat and forget to play the game and then die or something. Twisting from pain and bitterness. We must help him, Lord Captain. We must save the clarity of his soul, for he whose presence makes the world a little brighter deserves no less.
Lady Cassia, I presume. The sacred child of House Ocelio. Disgraceful it is that on the day we finally meet,
Yvain looks away in shame.
I am not at my best.
There is no disgrace in your predicament, Lord Whittlesdale. Lord Captain and I met under similarly dreadful and tragic circumstances. Conserve your strength. You're wounded and need help.
Wounded? I would have phrased it together differently. Tortured and maimed, perhaps. Have you ever had your eyes burned out? I must say this was my first time, and I cannot recommend the procedure.
He is either trying to make light of the situation or glowing ever more delirious from the pain. What exactly have they done to you?
The warden, my friend. I tried to convince him to stop this riot. Diplomacy failed.
Speaking is a struggle, but he continues stubbornly.
Father hates diplomacy, which is why I had to try.
Yes. I must take my leave, but I will see to it that assistance is provided to you and that you are escorted. He nods, allowing himself to give in to oblivion. Even though he's still standing. Okay, yep. Alright, let's... Loot time. Loot time. That's all going to cargo. That is a noble sword. A precise las pistol. Might be useful. And an improved armored body glove. Very nice, very nice. I think that sword is better than the maul that I gave him. Let me take a look here real fast. Slightly more damage, slightly lower armor penetration. Still has cleave, which is good. Nope, still counts as a primitive sword, not a power weapon. So that's why it's got the low armor penetration. On hit, sword attack inflicts the disturbed effect for 2 rounds. The target of the attack is already suffering from disturbed. Target attack deals additional damage. Gives plus 10% parry and minus 10 to enemy weapon skill when hit. We can give it a shot. We can give it a shot. Don't you just look dapper with that, Abelard, don't you? Do I want to give him that? No, the close range dead shot is still way better as far as a pistol goes. And no one else is using pistols right now, so... Let's finish looting before we start working on our level ups. Yep, go ahead and send that to cargo. Your skin crawls as you approach this place. However, there does not appear to be anything of note. The mutilated man does not stir. Bound in his shackles, the plaque near his head reads, "The Most Holy Prophet and Optimate Atishan." Yep, that was the guy we found all the journal entries from. Carapace. Oh no, Carapace is the one I have equipped. Black is the one that we're picking up. I looked at it wrong. Don't need a Ritobi pattern line. Well, no, we don't actually have any of those on hand, do. Oh no, we do. I'm an idiot. There we go. There, no, there. The crippled man's appearance is ghastly, and yet it is evidence he was cared for after his mutilation. No. And especially, Diamond, with how few people there are right now in the chat, how few people there are watching the stream, I'd like to at least give a little bit more attention to it so that I don't feel like I'm just talking to myself the whole time. Yep, I have to go in there. Oh, we need to go. Alright, we don't need to send everybody up there.
I will lead us to fortune.
This is one thing I do not... they sped up the animations. Thank God. Oh, thank God I was so worried. Because at the beginning, when the game first came out, it took forever to walk up those ladders. Thank Christ. They finally fixed that. Oh, thank God. The little things. It's the little things. Please tell me that... Yes, thank you. They made it so you go down them fast, too. Your eye is drawn to the shards of the enormous lens scattered around the broken device. At first, you're uncertain as to what troubles you, but then the realization hits you. The glass shimmers in a unique way, just the same as the shards of the unknown broken object you found near Theodora von Valencia's desk. What is the matter, Lord Captain? Why are you so interested in... Abelard trails off when he notices what you're looking at and instantly makes the connection.
By the Imperium sakes, it cannot be.
Adira bites her lip. I see it too. Whatever that thing in her study was, it was made from the same material as this junk.
What? What?
Abelard is at a loss for words. He takes a moment to collect himself, and all at once they start pouring out in a hasty sputter.
That is a mistake. Slander meant to blemish the good name of a person who is now dead and cannot even defend herself. First, those minions of the archenemy murdered the Lord Captain Theodora, and now this cannot be tolerated. It will not be tolerated.
Come on now, Abelard. Remember what she was like. Adira's smile betrays her own grief. Hey, I mean, if you're in a game where you're not going down it quickly or going up it quickly, you notice the difference. You notice the difference a lot. I still remember when they made it so you could essentially sprint up ladders in the Dark Souls series. Because Dark Souls 1 had some particularly long ladders that took forever to climb up and down. And that's exactly what those kind of changes are for. Just make it easier on us. There's no reason. It's the same reason I still to this day cannot play Dragon Age Inquisition. Because they made it so you have an animation to pick up every single item in the overworld. Every time you collect individual crafting reagents, there is a whole ass animation where your character has to kneel down, pick up the item, and stand back up. In a game with crafting, that was a horrible decision. It added something like 10 to 15 seconds to every single item I picked up, and I couldn't just leave the items there. I couldn't just leave all the crafting materials there. It drove me nuts. It was one of the reasons I was never able to finish the game, because it's like when you're watching a piece of machinery work and you're watching one of the pieces just start to sputter or start to like get locked up. It's that. It was like a mental locking up of everything. Every time I went to go, like, oh, an item that I need to craft. Oh, I have to sit through this animation. Oh, an item I want to have so I can craft. Oh, I have to sit through this animation. Over and over and over again. It's one of the pettiest reasons I've ever had for not wanting to play a game. But it just, in a game with a crafting system, with that animation, it just got in the way all the time. It's one of the worst examples I can think of. There's no other game I've had where a quality of life improvement, if they had removed that animation, I would have had more enjoyment and played the whole game. I've never had something so petty prevent me from playing a game, but there it is. There it is right there. Adira's smile betrays her grief, but at the same time is strangely knowing. Brazen, assertive. It was like her entire life was a race against fate. How fate caught up with her in the end. She would have gone headfirst into a black hole if she had thought it would put her even one step ahead of everyone else in the expanse. If we could just find out what she was keeping in her desk and why she went to get it during the attack. Sister Argenta's beautiful face is full of grief. How bitter it is to know that you were born from bad blood, but do not let this knowledge drag you into darkness. The sister's words ring with a genuine, sincere hope that you will be blessed with a worthier fate. She does not appear to be shocked by news of Theodora's possible heresy. Life must be so easy for you sanctimonious preachers. A dubious trinket, and you no longer even see a person. You see bad blood, an annoying hindrance. There is enough venom in Adira's voice to poison a regiment. Argenta recoils, but the next moment her dark eyes ignite with fury. How dare you admonish me? We are speaking of aiding and abetting the archenemy. A person who has tainted themselves thus can never justify their actions. Oh, sure. Why go through all the trouble of trying to make sense of anything when you can just label them a heretic and call it a day? Except, dear friend, I seem to remember that you didn't mind Theodora so much while you were aboard her ship. You didn't leave her side for even a moment. She rescued you, aided you, and your adoration wilted the moment you heard an accusation sullying her memory. You weren't surprised or upset. You just gave up and moved on. Adira is still correct. It is too soon to pass accusations of innocence. Savannah Differenti, do not be naive. Theodora kept an unsanctioned witch by her side like a pet. Do you really believe she would think twice of crossing the line another way? Can't wait to find out about that, because I do know that by the time I actually got to the right past Footfall, we still had no answers as to what
Let
this
us
stuff
not
was.
dawdle.
Some stuff over here. More cargo. Good. Yes. The glass-making furnace was used to melt the extracted sand into glass. This.
That's how it's done.
The evidence suggests the victim was killed by poison gas. Why does this keep not... There we go. Alright. Let's get leveled up. More talents. More talents. Alright. Cover efficiency. Those are this. Target suffers 5 additional damage. That could be useful. Maybe not right now. No, we don't want Burning Blood. That's for a melee Pyromancer. Which I have heard is a really good build, but it's definitely not one that I'm going for right now. Kills or scores are critically against 8 creatures in one combat. I'm sure there's some way to exploit that, but that just seems excessive. When the Psyker is burning, the Psyker's psi rating is increased by 1, and the Psyker's resolve increased by 2. Damage from fire no longer reduces Psyker's momentum. I mean, that plus Body of Flames should give us a decent amount. It should make us so that we can set ourselves on fire and get the bonus without hurting ourselves too much. But for right now, we're going to go with Blazing Inferno because we're hitting a lot of enemies with this without killing them. So we want to increase the chance for crit hits. And then we're going to grab Floor Warp because that's basically the only skill we really have a lot of. Go. Abelard, by contrast, we're going to go ahead and grab... His carouse is still fine, so we're going to go ahead and grab Athletics for him. Oh, good. We can select anything from him right now. Additional does not stack. It can be reactivated. Melee attacks deal additional +3 to enemies that have no allies. That could be useful. Critical damage is increased against enemies not armed with a melee weapon. Alright. Impetuous. That could be good. I do like using charge on him. Grenadier. What is weapon? Sweep ability of an axe and shove ability of a hammer or mace cost 1 AP less. Maybe. Could be useful. That might be good. There's their hit chance. No. Rigorous training. Charge and slash do not end the warrior's movement and grant a agility bonus plus 10% dodge for 1 round. Not the worst. He is going to end up having a lot. Do we want to grab that just yet? We haven't really been taking a lot of damage for him. So that honestly isn't that bad. Oh, that's what we want. Ramming speed, and then the next one, we want the one that allows us to get additional damage from that. That's what we want. That's what we want. We want to be able to get him into the fight as soon as we can. All right. Let's see. Target of this enemy suffers penalty to intelligence. No. Gain a minus 5% penalty to their dodge and parry until end of combat for psychic powers. Blind, stunned, or immobilized. By psychic damage. If that was everyone, maybe, because she's got a pretty reliable way to inflict blind and stunned. An ally becomes the target of a psych or psychic power. That ally gains plus 10. All resistance tests against the psyker suffer a... So that would be, what, an 8% reduction? Or a minus 8 penalty now, and that would be going up by 4 for every psychic level that she has. We'll go with Psychic Barrage. I know a lot of her stuff is going to be more longer range, so we'll continue to use that. Oh, she's got another common talent. Oh, that's great, actually. Sweet. No, we can't take an archetype one? Wait a second. Oh, okay, hold on. We're going to do that the other way around then. We'll take an archetype count for this, and then we'll grab Psychic Barrage for the other one. No, not Universal Features. Archetype. There we go. Exposure, type of excellence. Okay. So that works for long range stuff. Okay, I was reading that weird. That could be useful. Oh, gain plus operatives int bonus divided by 2% hit chance and critical hit chance when attacking targets affected by the exploit. By the exploit. Analyze. Oh, so that'll work with everything. Okay, that's good. Yeah, we'll take joint offense. That way she can start supporting the front line better. And then we will grab Psychic Barrage here. There we go. Skill and talent. He's going to be going for rapid fire, so we do want... Well, until the end of the next turn... No, that's not going to be as good. Full cover, 10% damage. The enemy's attack deal minus 20. Maybe. Full wounds. Eh. Oh, that could be good. First hit of each burst attack deals additional damage equal to the weapon's current rate of fire. Oh, that very good. Oh, Revel and Slaughter can be used after 2 kills. Yes, we want that. We'll go ahead and keep pumping up our demolition skill. What else have we got? What does it recommend? Gains a bonus to their perception ballistic skill. These bonuses stack, but half of the stacks are lost at the end of the turn. Targets the enemy's allies resolve increase. That's really... No. This a common talent? No, it's just a talent. What was the one that... Uses voice of command for the first disability costs 1 AP less. That could be good. Officer abilities gain bonus to all resistance tests. Okay. Whenever the officer uses 2 officer archetype abilities that do not grant an extra turn in 1 round, the officer gains the stand witness. The next officer archetype ability that does not grant an extra turn will also affect the officer. The problem is they made the officer class so heavily dependent on giving other people turns. That is... I get what they're trying to do. They're trying to say, oh, there is a way to play officer without giving extra turns by turning them into a buffing machine, but you get better value out of giving those extra turns because those extra turns usually come with buffs anyways, so kind of a moot point. Next to an officer. No, I don't want that. No. Those aren't really going to be helping any. Oh, for the first time in combat. I thought it was for the first time in the round or something. Oh, no, then that's not going to be very good. Oh, that's not bad. Gaining the movement, especially with a lot of her forced movement abilities. Didn't she have... Oh no, that's going to be one of those. I feel like if you were going for an all melee party, that would be really good because you could draw the enemy in and then force them to run away from you and then immediately proc a whole bunch of additional damage. But my goal is most likely to only really have Abelard and maybe one other in the future on melee, so I'm not sure how good of an idea that is. It's affected by the navigator's power stuff for stacking minus 10 penalty to the next resistance test. We'll use willpower for all resistance higher, and if their willpower is high, well, I mean that's going to be the case. Including extra turns of this first. Navigator starts all turns, including extra turns, with 3 additional movement points. The first ally targeted by the Navigator with a single target ability each turn gains... Yes, that's the one we want, because we were having some issues with giving those additional turns and then the person not being able to move. She's also going to be basically our face, so we're going to go ahead and grab Persuasion. There we go. That's finally taken care of. Let's get the hell out of here.
Success is the only outcome I accept. I always keep my options
Don't
open.
have to go back in there. We can go back along here. Let's move it. Don't think Raquel has anything else to say if we talk to her. Yep, the rebellion has been crushed. I have news of your lord. He anxiously pitches forward. Is Lord Winterscale alive? Is he all right? Yeah, we'll be truthful. He is alive but badly wounded. Help my people get him to my ship. There are glimmers of panic in the pilot's gaze, but she quickly pulls herself together. It will be done immediately. Thank you for letting me know, your lordship. All right, let's get going. Oh, how did I miss those? Gimme. Sweet. More gear. All right, back to the ship. Oh. Permission to report, Lord Captain. Over the last few days, I have received several messages from different decks complaining about anomalous behaviors in the ship's cogitators and servitors. The machine spirits are restless and rebellious, and no tech litany or ritual of pacification can rid them of this obstinacy. The tech priests can deal with the vessel's systems, but the servitors, they make errors in their tasks, disobey orders, change the assigned rituals, or sometimes downright freeze as if in trance. A click comes through the Vox channel, followed by a weary sigh. Lord Captain, occurrences such as these are caused by errors in cogitator calculations, or have some other sensible explanation. I beseech you not to take after those who whisper about the ship being cursed or possessed. Adira joins the channel and chimes in playfully. Oh, don't start, old man. All these peculiar happenings have long since turned into local legend. A door slams shut. A lumen starts flickering. Folks have gotten used to all of it. So our resident ghost has decided to up the ante. I'm telling you, things are only going to get worse from here. I love how Adira can try to make, oh yeah, there might be warp creatures on board our ship, sound normal. Like, woman, you know what universe you live in. Like, you actually know better than most because you're an unsanctioned psyker. You know goddamn well that if it's an actual ghost, if it's an actual warp spirit, we are in trouble. Like, that is a legitimate fact. Making light of something that could actually get us all killed is not fun. Not in this universe. The technomats inspected the servitors and concluded they posed no danger. According to the servants of the Omnissiah, such behavior is caused either by the echoes of minds not completely eliminated, or by manifestations of the machine spirit's will. Nevertheless, the faulty servitors make the crew's task considerably more difficult, and High Factotum Janrus Danrock would like to discuss how he should deal with the defective property. He awaits your audience on the bridge. Well, first, we are going to go talk to Thunderfang and see if maybe we have enough loot to sell off. Ah, we do have enough profit factor. We also do not need an additional Ritobi pattern las gun, so we're going to go ahead and add that to cargo. Same thing with the precise las pistol. Don't need a flak chest plate. The improved armored body glove, though, could be useful. Don't need any of those. Keeping all of those. Not going to touch any of these until I know that I can't use them in the future. Means, hand over. And here. I don't know if that'll be enough to get us. No, it won't. We're close, though. Close. But we can grab this. And the docking glove. What does that do? Ranged attacks hit an enemy. The wearer gains a 5% bonus to critical hit chance. For the next ranged attack against the same enemy does not stack. Still pretty good. I remember when this game first came out, I had to look up what exactly this whole system was because I honestly thought you lost profit factor for each one of these, and I didn't realize it was more of an abstraction like, oh no, this just is like you have enough money that buying these does nothing to affect your actual income. Because you're a rogue trader. You're quite literally making so much goddamn money just existing and collecting from your various holdings, even out here on the frontier. I want to get that great sword so we can give it to Abelard. I don't know if any of the others are really that good. Oh, we do want that as well for him. Chargeability -1 is great. But that's the big one. We really want to get that great sword. Medal of Alacrity is great as well to give to Cassia, since she's going to be our main officer. There's a couple of good things down here. The rest is just kind of extra, but there's no reason not to try and get it. Back to the bridge, right? Yep. Flipping the edge of my mic when I move my arm. Damn it. I don't think there's anything else other than this. I won't worry too much about this. The High Factotum Janrus Danrock greets you with a cold smile and the merest hint of a bow. Pleasure to meet you, Lord Cap. How may I be of assistance? Vigdis informed me about a problem with the servitors. What happened? Well, you see, your lordship, the ship's servitors have been malfunctioning of late. They violate their protocols, interrupt their tasks, observe crew members for long periods of time, and move erratically with no meaning or purpose. Janrus nervously pulls on his luxurious frock coat, as if it were uncomfortably tight. Had it been a routine technical fault, I would have decided the fate of these servitors myself, but I deemed it necessary to notify you. I do not wish to hide such irregularities from the Lord Captain. If you wish to observe the servitors' unusual behavior before you decide their fate, this can be arranged. The majority of the defective units have been delivered to one of the storage compartments, pending your decision. I wish to take a look at these servitors before deciding their fate. As you wish. It's time for man-made horrors beyond our comprehension in the form of the Imperium's servitors. When his lordship arrived at the scene, he found the servitors in the same position they'd assumed after they'd been corralled into the bay, standing in a long, spiraling line, facing the center of their strange formation. The moment his lordship crossed the threshold of the bay gate, their bodies jerked into motion as one, as if obeying a command. The servitors turned to face the Lord Captain. The technomats tasked with overseeing the defective units even reached for their weapons, but when the servitor just went but then the servitors went still just as abruptly, staring at his lordship with vacant eyes. All present held their breath, disturbed by this sight, and waited for the Lord Captain to speak. His lordship, Savane de Firenze von Valencia, took several steps towards the servitor. Immediately, the servitors, each and every one, stepped towards the Lord Captain in perfect unison, mimicking his movements with frightening precision. The rogue trader halted in place and after a moment's thought waved his hand, and the servitors just as synchronously repeated that gesture as well. When the Lord Captain turned quizzically to the technomats, so did the servitors, as if mocking him. Whatever the Lord Captain did, be it an incline of the head, a wave of the hand, or a step to the side, the defective units repeated it without a moment's delay or hesitation, like grotesque marionettes controlled by an unseen puppeteer. We observed this mime unfold in distressed bafflement for nearly a minute until the servitors finally came to a stop. Not sensing any threat from them, the rogue trader approached with confidence. The Lord Captain examined the servitors. As high factotum, I should have been doing this in Janrock's voice, I suppose.
It was I who had prompted the entire inspection, and thus it was my duty to follow the Lord Captain. As we stepped closer, we noticed a fascinating irregularity. The servitors' pupils, normally still, were shaking wildly, their bulging veins pulsating under their copper collars, inscribed with past offenses. It was as if these mindless half machines were locked in a perpetual state of extreme tension. A visibly shaken technomat behind us proposed that the human souls within had awakened in the servitors' bodies after their long slumber deep within their lobotomized brains. Formerly bereft of intelligence, they had regained their awareness, feeling, and understanding. After a pause, the technomat added that the servitors used to function properly, and that no one had been able to explain the change in their behavior. His gaze still trained on the motionless but animate half-machines and half-people. The Lord Captain... Nope, we will not be doing the heretical run, thank you very much. Stepped away from the servitor. Demanded a report on the defective unit. The technomat's long-winded and detailed report could have been summarized in a single point. Despite the servitors' abnormal behavior, they were still quite capable of carrying out their tasks, and therefore the circumstance did not call for termination.
Ordered that one of the servitors be disassembled and its components investigated.
A group of technomats hurried to act upon the Lord Captain's command. The servitor's mechanical parts separated with quick snaps and hisses, the sutures between its wrinkled, pale flesh and its augments laid disgustingly bare. We watched the technomats do their work and could see every centimeter of the servitor's stiff muscles abounding with valves and cavities pierced by countless cords and tubes. The disassembly and analysis complete, the technomats concurred. The unit was still in working order. Nothing in the dissected body that lay before us could provide any insight into the reason behind the defect. I should make note of one more thing. At that moment, all of us present discovered that not just the eyes, but the hands and heads of some of the servitors were now shaking too. It was as if the mechanized servants were overcome with some sort of primordial terror. He turned to me to announce his decision. His lordship looked at me with unwavering resolve, and it was that confidence that wrenched me out of the nightmarish stupor that had me tensely observing the scene unfolding before me, and the Lord Captain gave the order. To dispose of the servitors, that their human souls may be released from torment. The Lord Captain's command was executed post-haste. All defective units incinerated in furnaces, and their remains expelled into the void. The crew was provided with replacement servitors and soon forgot all about the destroyed unit's peculiarity. Yet I'll admit, this incident haunts my memories today. With the fate of the defective servitors decided, nothing could now distract the Lord Captain from his mission.
I also like this, since it is from the perspective of Janrock, in that it does reveal there is still, a human soul underneath all of that Imperium nobility, bigotry, and just crazy religious insanity. That an incident like this with servitors is one of the things that he actually does remember later in his life, and is still something that is worrying to him. Now, I don't think anybody else has anything else to say. We're going to do a quick run around the bridge to make sure. I knew there was going to be something. You seem to have a very strong reaction to what Argenta said by the broken lens.
It was just my nerves playing up. Something about our little saint doesn't sit right with me, and I trust my gut. Oh sure, she seems straight as an arrow and as predictable as a hangover after drinking. But when I look at her, something about her makes my brain itch.
Now, because I know RPG tropes, I'm sure Adira's completely right, but even in universe, I would be questioning, is that what Adira thinks, or is that what the voices in Adira's head are telling her to think?
After that conversation, I tried to listen to what was being said about her. Beyond the door, what I heard was strange. Blood in her past, twilight in her present, and something like a star leading her. But where is it leading her? I saw several roads, and all of them frightened me.
I mean, natural assumption would be that the star is referencing the Astronomicon. Yeah, exactly, Diamond. With Adira, you never know, and I'm sure at some point that will come to a head. Owlcat does a good job of writing their companion quests that will lead to an actual bit of an arc for the character. So I have no doubt that much later in the game, we will have to have a final reckoning with Adira and the voices in her head. It's gonna happen. But for right now, we just don't know. And as I was saying, I would assume the star is a reference to the Astronomicon and the Emperor, but if it's not, that leads to some interesting possibilities. Perhaps we should warn Argent?
Oh yeah, you go ahead and tell her the wicked Psyker has divined something about her. She'll be so pleased and grateful, and of course she'll listen to what you have to say. No, that would be pointless. And anyway, I'm not even sure what it all means. Maybe the danger is to her? Or maybe the danger's coming from her.
I mean, she is a sister of battle. That doesn't really narrow it down either. Adira's voice is full of animosity, but you also detect concern, even a hint of pity, compassion. Well, that's the thing. I don't even think she's a wicked Psyker. She's a Psyker from the edge of the Imperium that was never sanctified. Like, the fact that she has survived up until this point does indeed speak well of her. It's just that this is the 40k universe. It speaks well of her, and it also makes me scared shitless. Because, quite literally, her brain could explode at any moment. It's not a doubting of her competency. It's a doubting of the rules of this universe, basically. The fundamental principles of 40k say something bad is going to happen. Like, it will happen. It's not a matter of if, it is a matter of when.
Of course.
Yep, we know that line. Nothing else there. Genrock. I don't think he has anything else to say. Shipping and transportation of goods. Nope, nothing. Yeah, Mephiston, Mephiston is actually a great example because he's one of the few who has basically gone full around the bend and come back the other side. Yes, I've dealt with the Red Thirst and the Black Rage, and I came out the other side somehow still mostly intact. But then again, he is a Blood Angel. The Blood Angels kind of get a pass. I mean, Dante's been around for almost 1,000 years, and he's gotten to the point where he just wants to die. And you don't see that from Space Marines very often. I don't think Abelard
Lord
is.
Captain.
Yes. Nothing there. Check in. Vigdis. Nope, nothing. All right. Bravor. Nope, nothing. And lastly...
Greetings.
Nope. And... Oh, almost forgot Cassia. Nope, nothing. All right. We've got a little bit longer before I have to end the stream, about 20, maybe 30 minutes if I push it. Let's go over and get onto the planet and get started on there. Rykad Minoris. Now, to be fair, since we're speaking of crazy psychers, I hope there's more moments like this, because I do vaguely remember this from the first time I played the opening sequence. And quite honestly, if you are playing a psyker character, there should be more moments like this, where you should doubt your perception of reality, because the warp is constantly trying to fuck with your head. Like, I do feel like they missed out on being able to do more of that.
I'm assuming you're still referring to Mephiston. I mean, as far as Space Marines go, he kind of is. He managed to go all the way through the whole thing and just pop out the other side. He basically got a Zenkai boost, now that I think about it. He basically got a Zenkai boost. He was pushed to the edge of death, managed to break through both his physical and psychological barriers, and popped out the other side as basically an Alpha-class Psyker. Sure, he's a bit batty, even by Space Marine standards, but, I mean, he's in the Blood Angels, so could be worse. Could you imagine if Mephiston had been in frickin'... God, I don't know. Actually, now that I think about it, most of the other chapters would just kind of shrug and move on. The Blood Angels are the only ones who are actually like, this might actually mean something because of the whole Red Thirst and Black Rage thing. The fact that he managed to push past it is actually kind of a big deal. As the ship makes its way through the star system, a strange fatigue falls over you. Your eyelids grow heavy, and the quill you've been using to draw up yet another order falls from your hand. Oh, this is better. The original version of this scene, they were all in, the shades were in black, and it was actually kind of hard to see them all. This is actually nice. I like this. Higher contrast. Looks very good. You raise your head with a start. Someone else is here, in your study. You stand up and stare at the dozens upon dozens of corpses surrounding you. Among their number, you recognize the disfigured and bloodied faces of those who died on the ship's bridge, those you met in your previous life. How is this possible? Where are the enforcers to stand guard? It matters not. You are alone against a horde of heretics risen from the darkness of death to take your life. I mean, that is kind of the thing. I mean, Catholic space vampire super soldiers is one hell of a tagline for your faction. Everything with the Blood Angels does have to be something, and it always seems to come. I mean, it always comes back to the Red Thirst and the Black Rage because that's sort of their central defining flaw with all of them. Yeah, as if on its own accord, the shard lying on the edge of the desk, the sole remnant of Konrad Voitvir's weapon, slips into your hand. The metal searing cold, the dead sway from side to side, closing in on you in a nightmarishly slow advance. Stop! I did not wish for any of you to die. The dead are deaf to your words, creeping ever closer with the inevitability of death itself. You belatedly realize that your trembling hand has found the shard as its razor-sharp edge cuts into your palm. An unbearably bright light floods everything around you, and you find yourself surrounded by groveling minions, their bodies shivering in your mere presence. Your hands no longer hold a pitiful shard, but a majestic, intricate weapon, a skillfully crafted sword with strange, unnerving proportions, a curved design, and an unusual hilt adorned with the image of a closed eye. Well, it's definitely on the right track. I think the main thing that separates the warp from hell is that hell in the end still has this sense of the person who has been sent here is being punished for a reason. Now you can disagree with that because people disagree on their religious takes all the time, but at least it seems to have been created for a purpose, to punish the wicked. The warp doesn't care. The warp just eats you. The warp quite literally devours your soul as you die and then shits out part of your essence as new demons while the rest of your soul disappears or gets reincarnated. There's never been a fully clear answer on all of that. In my opinion, the warp is so much worse in that regard. It's so much worse. And to top it all off, to be the shit cherry on top of the shit cake, you have the four Chaos Gods, who are actively manipulating events to ensure that the warp grows stronger and does more. Like, what's the line from that introduction to 40K video where it's like, imagine Satan and 3 other Satans. It's like, even that's not quite right. Satan wants to just rule over hell and punish people. The Chaos Gods are actively looking for ways to fuck over the material world in every way possible and eventually subsume the entirety of reality into the immaterial. They are infinitely worse, and that is really saying something. The eye opens wide, revealing a gaze so ancient and dark. Hey, Kato. Good to see you.
And yes, I've seen that theory, that Event Horizon is a prequel to 40K. It's the first time a ship goes through the warp without a Geller field. And I will admit, it made the movie better for me when I finally watched it, because I read that theory and I'm like, I should really check out this movie, and it really fits. Liberate tua me, ex infernis. And all that. The eye opens wide, revealing a gaze so ancient and dark that it steals your breath away. You have felt this gaze before, there on the bridge, and the voice that appears in your mind only confirms your guess.
The tapestry is woven. The path is chosen. Accept your fate, champion.
Oh, of course. Not only are there various minor powers within the warp doing their own thing, there's potentially new nascent chaos gods that have yet to be formed, influencing things in the warp. I don't know if any of you have read the parts about the Siege of Terra and all that, but there's a lot of implications as to what's going on with the Emperor now that he's sitting on the throne. A lot of implications. Throw the demon blade away.
Never.
Your body refuses to obey your mind. The handle feels as if it has become one with your hands, and the gaze of the demonic eye sets your very soul ablaze.
Resisting your fate is futile.
You scream as you feel your soul burn to ash. You awaken from the vision kneeling next to your desk, clothes drenched in sweat, a sour taste on your tongue. Your head is ringing, and you struggle to recall those faces and the image of the sword in your hands. Only the deep cut on your palm and the bloodied shard lying on the floor remind you of what has just transpired. You would rather die than touch this thing again. You reach a shaking hand for your box and call for a servitor. Now you just have to wait for the mindless automaton to arrive, pick up the cursed artifact, and head for the nearest airlock to be flamed by the void. Yeah, it's a surprisingly good horror film. Like, I get why it's not everybody's cup of tea, and I get why, for its time, it really wasn't, like, not many people saw it or not many people looked at it. It came in at the tail end of what I would call, like, the slasher, like, really gory horror films. So by the time it was coming out, that kind of phase of things had kind of fallen out of vogue. And then combine that with a mediocre script that's really carried by the actors actually doing a decent job. I think Lawrence Fishburne does an amazing job in it, but some people don't agree. Yeah, it is hard to remember that a lot of those people were not as well known as they were, or as they would become in the future. And then you always hear those rumors, because I think I remember reading, there's always those rumors that there's a uncut version of the scene that they filmed where they show like what happens to the crew, and supposedly it was so disturbing that they didn't include it in the film, and then it got lost. So supposedly there's a copy of it out there somewhere where like it goes into the nitty gritty of all the details of like the people being strung up and tortured and all that stuff. And supposedly that part was like so disturbing that they cut it out after the test footage, like after the test showings, because they're like, okay, nobody liked that. That was too much. I don't know if there's any truth to that, but it kind of fits with what we know about the film, and it would certainly explain where most of their budget went. I don't think we have anything in here. Nope. All right. Let's get over to Rykad. I don't have too much longer that I can stream, and I would like to at least get through the first combat encounter on the landing platform. Let's go. There we go. Get to the planet. Scan. Go. Everybody's grabbed. Yeah, Paul W.S. Anderson. Can't remember what else has he done. Did he end up doing the Resident Evil movies a few years later when they tried to do the movie versions of those or something? I know he's done something like that. Ooh, they added more like vox chatter in the background sound. That actually sounded kind of cool. The starport greets you with the din of ordnance and the smell of explosive. And the smell of explosive tickles your nostrils. It's difficult to tell through the smoke who is firing at whom. Oh,
Weapons on the ground or I'm firing.
A man in a torn and dirty uniform. Well, I mean, the Cadian uniform is pretty much standard across the Imperium because their flak vest is like the gold standard that what all other like infantry equipment is compared to. So it's not a surprise that they end up like this. And or are you talking about the accent I'm giving? Because I can only do so many voices. There's a lot of NPCs in this game, so a lot of them are going to sound similar. Probably going to end up sounding like the guardsman from frickin' Winter Assault. A man in a torn and dirty uniform hobbles towards you from behind the chunks of rockcrete and crumpled plasteel, the cracked helmet adorned with a crooked label that reads Sergeant Malgar.
All right, so us guys are in lockdown. The rebels are shooting down anything that flies, and you lot just happened to land in our rear without a scratch to show for it. And on a shuttle like that, where did you get it? Stolen from the palace? Is that it?
He's visibly awed by the resplendent gold of your transport.
Grab 'em, lads. We got ourselves a rebel landing force.
Yeah, as I said, I mean, it's not surprising. And in some ways, you can actually say they have even less than standard Cadians. Because you'll notice, aside from Malgar, who has the boots and the arm guards, the regular guardsmen literally just have the chest piece, the shoulders, and the helmet. Like, they don't even have the leg guards that some of the Cadians usually get, or the arm guards that the high-up Cadians, like Kasserkins, get. Like, even in the guard, it can actually be kind of easy to tell that, oh yeah, the Cadians actually are better than a lot of these other groups, because a lot of these other groups are even worse equipped than they are, which you wouldn't think would be possible, but here we are.
By the holy thrones, what is this mess?
Adira glances around.
They're in a tough spot, old man. Go easy on them.
No, because this time, you see, the lady was nice to me, so I had no trouble being nice to her. This guy insulted me. Abelard, enlighten this rabble about the proper manner of greeting the God Emperor's chosen.
Ahem.
Abelard clears his throat.
You stand before rogue traitor von Valentius, you ignorant worm. Snap to attention this instant and give his lordship a formal report.
Yeah, that was it, Diamond. The first Mortal Kombat movie. I knew I'd heard his name from something else. With a mixture of awe and terror, he snaps to attention, raises his freshly cut chin like an exemplary soldier, and barks,
My mistake, sir. At once. The starport is under the control of the governor's wardens. Perimeter commander is Sergeant...
A frag grenade explosion cuts off the rest of the sergeant's words, shrapnel flying everywhere with a piercing screech. One of Malgar's soldiers falls to the ground, clutching the remains of his forearm that is now adorned with crimson tatters, blood pouring out of the stump. The agony short-lived. The sergeant curses and hastily says an army prayer for the dead. With a rasping cough, the sergeant turns back.
Pardon me, sir. Sergeant Lasse Malgar reporting. My unit is holding the starport on the governor's orders. How may I serve?
That being said, while I don't mind that all the guardsmen kind of look Cadian-like, given the ubiquity of Cadian-style pattern equipment, seeing some differences would be nice. Like, I mentioned it, I think earlier in the stream before you guys were on, when we were doing the negotiation with the strikers on the ship. The enforcers on the ship have a mix of flak vests, like the guardsmen, but they also have guys in what looks to be some form of carapace armor that is similar to the Palatine Enforcers model from the Necromunda line that Games Workshop made. And I like that there's some differentiation there. Hopefully, I don't know, I imagine there's not going to be too much, but hopefully there is some differences in Imperial flak armor and stuff later on in the game. That would be nice. At least some visual distinction. Other than just color, because our guys on the ship have blue, and they look pretty much identical to this, and these guys have red, and that's sort of the only difference.
Pardon me,
the units for the start, but yeah, we said this.
What exactly is going on here? Unrest, sir. Armed rebellion in both the capital and provinces. The lower levels were sparked, then it went up to the spires. They hit the Vox hubs, the arsenals, and the Mag train station.
Then Felak tore off his mask, precisely because he knew about the trouble on Rykad Minoris. He knew that none of our allies would be able to come to our aid.
He lets out a sorrowful sigh. Oh, hello. Oh my god, my first raid. No, seriously, this is my first raid. Hello, Sir Justin the Lion, and hello, Raiders. I'm Savani. Oh, hello, fellow Rogue Trader. Nice. Very nice. Good to see I'm not the only one playing this game. But, welcome. I'm just going through, not fully blind right now. We're still in the portion of the game that I played upon, the game's release before I stopped, and I decided to let Owlcat release a couple of patches to fix some things up. So we're going through the Rykad introduction, and I've seen everything up until about football. So until we get to that point, it's not going to be blind, but we're playing through it right now. So, yep. Oh, good, good. Good to see I'm not the only one. Yeah, Outcat games are good, but I was able to play through Kingmaker mostly okay when it first came out, but this one, I think it has a lot to do with the way they set up their class system. There were a lot of issues as far as some of those character and class interactions that were... They weren't necessarily bad, but when 90% of every combat clip I saw on YouTube was just Cassia gives orders, Argenta takes 6 extra turns and clears an entire combat encounter with no issues. I don't know. That just seems weird. It seems like your combat system is not working as intended if that's the go-to solution for every single problem in the game. But welcome, welcome. Unfortunately, I've only got a little bit longer. I'm planning on going through this introduction segment on Rykad and getting through the first combat engagement, and then I'm probably going to get off for the day, unfortunately. I got to get ready for work here shortly. But we'll finish up here. Thank you. Thank you for the raid, and thank you for coming in.
My unit was here when it all went to Grox's. The tech priest linked to the satellites reported sightings of strange void ships in the system, orbiting the star until one of them set course for landing on Rykad Majoris. The governor took precautionary measures in order to increase security at the key facility.
Yeah, thanks, Justin. Can I actually... Let me see here. Go ahead and give you a follow as well. There we go. Sweet. Thank you very much, Sir Justin the Lion. Thank you very much for dropping by. Where were we? On Rykad Majoris. The governor took precautionary measures in order to increase security at the key facility. Everyone knows that whenever something's not right, you better double the warden detail. The alarm was raised. We were sent to secure the starport. The only reason we were able to hold it.
They're crushing us. Scumbags. It's been a whole turn since the last reinforcements came in. We're low on ammo. Every other fighter is wounded. I don't know how bad it is in the street, but they'll drive us out of here any minute.
Who exactly are you, anyway?
Sergeant Lasse Malgar, sir. 11th generation, loyal soldier of House Witterscale. 3 commendations for faultless service. Ever since the olden days, his lordship the Rogue Trader has recruited soldiers and shipwrights on Rykad Minoris. There is no greater honor for a Rykadian than serving his lordship with diligence.
You know, funnily enough, the name actually makes me wonder if maybe in the ancient times of the Imperium, this world was settled by Cadians. And the name, they might have said Rykadian with a C, and over time it turned into Rykadian with a K. And that might also explain the prevalence of Cadian pattern equipment here.
Do you know what caused this rebellion? Ill thoughts, sir. We've fallen on hard times. The ground keeps shaking, things keep exploding, the people are scared, they've forgotten all about their duty. And that's when those, Emperor forgive me, preachers came. They riled everyone up. Sure enough, we shot a few, but they just kept coming. More and more of them.
You're doing fine work, Malgar, and so are your troops. It is people like you that are holding the Imperium together.
I live to serve.
The sergeant's grim voice rings with martyr pride. Would you happen to know if a member of the Inquisition... At the word Inquisition, the sergeant's face fills with awe.
I wouldn't know, sir. There definitely haven't been any visitors like that on my watch. You might have to inquire up at the headquarters, your lordship, sir.
Now, some dirty dog nearly shot down my shuttle.
That is affirmative, your lordship. There's those damn rebels. Those maggots somehow got their hands on an anti-aircraft battery. It's causing our shuttles no end of trouble. That thing packs a punch. You're lucky they missed you. I've seen them fry 2 shuttles carrying reinforcements, and not a soul survived.
I'm in need of seeing the governor.
If I may report, sir, as long as the rebels keep shooting that damned anti-aircraft barrier.
Aircraft battery. Speak English.
There. There's absolutely no way to shuttle you to the governor. You would have to be on foot, and the streets are dangerous. I have no one to send you as an escort. I assigned all of my spare troopers to accompany a tech priest to the governor. I'll voxcast orders for them to wait for you up ahead, and I'll inform headquarters. They'd better send out a convoy to meet you halfway. Meanwhile, we'll follow the governor's orders and hold the line here.
Adira frowns as her gaze grows distant, as if looking through the sergeant. You're a good soldier, but you've got a lot of blood on your hand. Yours, other. You know, the same hand that salutes now might falter in darkness. Rank epaulettes won't save you. Bit.
Pardon me, my lady, but I can't get my head around those fancy words you're saying. I've seen plenty of blood, but trust me, I'll fight till my last drop.
Thank you, Adira, for once more dropping the "that's totally not ominous" lines on us all. Thank you very much.
The path ahead is dangerous. What exactly awaits us? All of our roadblocks are gone. The whole place is in rebel hands. The city's almost lost. So no help will come. We're surrounded by the rebels. Watch your steps. The streets are chock full of mines.
His remark about mines lodges something in your memory. More than anything, you'll need to watch the ground and not your surroundings. You'd rather risk a shot from a rebel or a jittery soldier than experience a few handfuls of lethal fragmentation shrapnel resting on top of some 300 grams of explosive fissile. What tech priest? Important person from the Adeptus Mechanicus arrived on the last shuttle before we locked everything down. He kept on asking, kept on asking whether anyone by the name of Amaranth or Amarnat or something like that had recently arrived. Barely answered any of our questions, though, said he was under no obligation to tell us anything. He demanded to talk to the governor personally, so I had to send a quarter of my men to keep trouble at bay. You're a good soldier, Malgar. I'll see to it that your heroism is noted. I live to serve, sir. Another explosion interrupts the sergeant's words. With a sigh of relief, he turns his soldiers and spits out a booming series of commands. Okay.
Always keep your eye on the prize.
Did you see that? They almost knocked us out of the air. Some bumbling idiot's going to regret that when he's dragged before the Lord Captain for questioning and trial.
I do not think the rogue trader should take a personal interest in a common crackpot. Summary execution will be sufficient.
Love the Imperium sometimes. He doesn't need to worry about that. We're just going to shoot the bastard anyways.
Keep your wits about you.
See, I like Adira's lines. I really do. My main problem has usually been... my main problem is largely that I have horrible luck, and I have seen her repeatedly get Perils of the Warp almost every time I try to get her to use abilities. And it's never like, oh, it's the minor damage, or, oh, it causes an effect. No, it's like, oh, she suffers a psychic backlash, takes 40 points of damage, instantly gets a debilitating debuff that lowers her toughness and her willpower, which will make a future Perils of the Warp more likely during this combat encounter. It's like, Jesus Christ. You wonder why I don't want to bring you anywhere. Yes, I will admit, they did do that. And to be fair, it could have been worse. Imagine if they had actually implemented lore-accurate perils, where there's just a chance you die, and it's game over. I don't...
money to be made?
No one would want that. No one would be happy with that. It would be hilarious the first time it happens, and then you'd get very quickly angry at it. Grab those. It shouldn't... I've got enough time. We can get through this combat encounter, and then I'll end the stream. Oh, grab that loot while we're here, by the way. Don't think any of that's going to be any of use to me. Nope. Oh, right. And we did want to check. No, not Abelard. Would the improved body glove be better for him? Yeah. I want to give him the improved body glove. And then... No, that's not better for her. This is better for her, though. He looks weird with carapace armor on. Or not even carapace. Is it carapace? Yeah, it's carapace chestplate. Okay. Alright. Quick save.
I always keep my options open. I'll make an example out of you.
I'll bleed you dry. Boy. Here we go. There. Put Adira here. Wait, no. I wish I could see the line of sights on this, but we're going to keep them there. Magenta can go up here. Abelard. We'll do over here and hope that that blocks enough line of sight to keep him safe. There's really not much cover over here. We're going to keep him over here. Alright, start it up. Yeah, he's going to run over there and immediately use his buff. Yeah, I was really hoping that wouldn't be the case, but...
Help me, Lord Captain!
Okay, perfectly precise shots. Thanks for that, game. At least he hit one of his own. Yeah. Him. Oh no, I still have that on her. Right. Yes, let me take cover behind the obviously explosive barrels. That's a brilliant idea. We're going to hop up here.
Rejoice in battle!
See if we can pick them off. Come on.
Eradicated each.
There we go. 2 enemies down. Damage the agitator. Good. I probably should put the bolter back on here after this. This autogun has not been doing as well as I was hoping. Is there anything else I can do? Oh, she did get 2 kills, so we're going to go ahead and pop Revel and Slaughter and give her some bonuses. Take cover. Dira, if you would be so kind. Yes, please, kill him. Thank you. Goodbye. Alright, is there anything else we can do? He's going to run out. They're going to run out. We'll just throw an analyze enemy on you.
Was it you? Or...
Increases targets, dodge, and parry. Yeah, we can afford to do that. We're going to throw that on Abelard because he's going to be running out there here shortly. And then she... Can I... How far up can I get this? I can only get 1 guy with that unless I move her.
Emperor, give me strength.
Move you up. We're going to use... No, can I still only get 2 of them with it? Yeah. Alright, still. Force him to move. That deals damage. Good. Then we're going to... Go ahead and give Adira another turn. Nope, can't target him. Can target him. Almost dead. Damn, almost had him. Almost had him. I don't suppose... You want to feel lucky, Cassia? Nope, you missed. Okay. Oh well.
Let's get to it.
Yep, Bruiser's running up.
Scared yet?
Come on, guys, let's go.
Out of my way.
Oh, he's gonna run up right against... Oh no, he ran up to Abelard. Because he's an idiot. I do here. No. What about here? Yes.
On it. I won't compromise my principles.
What the fuck? Why did you... Oh, it was because I had it selected and then it automatically went off. Why did it automatically go off? Well, that just made things more annoying. We're just going to mark him as an enemy.
I'd rather not.
Going to swing.
Let's get to it.
Oh boy, here come more of them. Nope, he's missing. Missing. What are they doing? Oh, he vaporized 2 of his own guys. Oh my god. Okay, so they've killed like 4 of their own at this point. Please don't shoot me. Please don't shoot my own guys. Please don't. Thank you. Jesus Christ. She... No, she really can't. We're gonna move around this side.
I'll do it.
Pop him. Adira, would be so kind. Yes, please pop the guy all the way at the back so we don't have to deal with him later. Done and done. Cassia, you would be so kind as to give me a actual turn. That would be great. And we're not going to take any chances. We're giving them the Roy Mustang treatment. We're snapping our fingers and setting them on fire.
Another enemy down.
Thank you kindly. I don't think Cassia could do anything else. Those guys vaporized themselves. I think that might be the last guy, actually. Set him on fire. Oh, that went better than expected.
Rise to the top, or get left in the dust.
That went better than expected. Don't need any of that. Keep one of those shock batons, just in case it's an upgrade for anybody. Carapace and chest plate. Well, scrappy las guns we don't need. There we go. Okay, let's clear up this area, and then I'm going to have to get off screen. Yep, want that. Nothing else over there. Nothing else over there. Come on. Yep, take that cargo. Cargo, good.
Let us not dawdle.
I know we need to talk to Jaspar up there. I don't think there's anything else around here for me to grab. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and end it here. Pretty good progress today. I got to get going. I got to get ready for work. Just get that final save. And suppose it's only fair that I find somebody to raid since Justin was so kind to do the same. I've never actually done this before. Let me see. Yeah, it does have good mechanics, Kato. It does have good mechanics. It's just, it was very obvious when the game first released that some of those mechanics were not designed, it's not that they were designed badly. It's that they did not foresee just how much people would optimize. So you, as I said, you ended up in cases, and you can still find them online where, on like YouTube, where people would just clear it. And you would have, your officer would go first. Your officer would give a free turn to one of your characters. That character would kill 3 enemies. Then their ability would activate to give them a free turn again. And then they'd kill 3 more enemies, which gives them another turn. Then because you've killed 6 enemies, the officer gets another turn or something, and then they give another free turn to the... That's all you do. You could clear the game with 2 characters, an officer and a soldier. It was hilarious, but it also kind of showed that there was a fundamental flaw in how that was. So, yeah, let's go ahead. Let's find... let me see. Let's see who's on. Let's see who's on. There's a couple of other people on Rogue Trader. Oh, yeah, the combat's fantastic. Don't get me wrong. It's just very obvious that, that some issues are going on. You know what? They're not doing Warhammer stuff, but I have been a longtime fan. I've been a longtime fan of the Black Pants Legion. I would love to raid them, even if it's just for a little bit. Looks like they're playing an action RPG or a shooter of some kind. If you've never heard of the Black Pants Legion, they're a great YouTube channel. Lots of gaming guys. They also do the Tex Talks Battletech. If you like Battletech or you like delving into sci-fi universes, they're really good. So we're going to go ahead and raid them. I don't really know how well this works, but I hope you guys enjoy it. If not, at least give them a shout out for me. Oh, so that's how it works. I have to hit the button. Okay. But yeah, so yeah, we're going to be rating the WBPL, the Black Pants Legion, the guy who does Tex Talk Battletech. And I hope you all have a glorious Wednesday. I should be back on Friday. I'm going to try and work a Friday stream in there. We'll see. I'm leaning towards it. I should have everything set up, but the real life likes to throw me curveballs. So I hope you all have a glorious Wednesday. I hope you all have a glorious rest of the week, and you have a good one.